Network is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Diamond Talk. Diamond Talk. Diamond Talk. KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Burns and Gambo starts now.
Straight up 3:30 on this Thursday afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome into today's edition of the Burns and Gambo Show here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. My name is Dave Burns, alongside the one, the only, here in studio with us, John Gambadoro, everybody. Hi, Gambo!
Burnsy, what's going on?
Good to have you here, my friend.
Yeah, I'm in studio today. I'm in.
You
decided to come
here
in today?
yesterday. Yeah, you decided.
Yeah.
We never know anymore. You know, it's just like.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes you're here, sometimes you're not.
I know.
Sometimes you're home, sometimes we never know. And that's
Sometimes
fine.
I'm here and I'm not really here.
It's just
Sometimes I'm home and I'm not really there.
all we ask
Yeah.
is you let us know if you're here, but you're not really here.
Okay, all
Well,
right.
typically we know with you by about halfway through the second segment whether you're here, but you're not really here. If you can just let us know, are you here today, or are you just
yeah.
kinda
What do you
here?
mean am I here today? I got all my
notes.
got all my notes.
You've been keeping track of that Diamondbacks
I
game.
was.
Taking copious notes, ready to go, ready to talk
there
about
it is. There it is. There's all the plays in the
to-
game. There it
We're going
is.
to talk a little Kevin Durant
Showing
later
it.
today. Give everybody the latest on that. You
Yeah.
know, find out what's going to happen there on that. You're good, huh? You ready to go?
I'm good.
All
Yeah.
right, well, that's what we
Glad
like.
the
to hear.
Diamondbacks didn't blow a lead late.
Let's talk about a Diamondbacks win. There's nothing to complain about today. There's a few things we might grouse a little bit about, but there's nothing to complain about on today's Burns and Gambo show.
Burns and Gambo, the weigh-in.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's your ball game. Diamondbacks prevent the sweep, and they win the finale by a final score of 9-5. The offense really shined in this one, and Ryan Nelson turned in a dominant starting pitching performance.
More runs, Gambo. More runs. Score as many as you can, boys.
D. Scalfani comes in the game, and it's like Springer's up at the plate. And I'm like, oh, my God, if he gives up one here, we're in a boatload of trouble.
Yeah.
Boatload of trouble. I mean, you're up 9-1 in that game, and you're supposed to win comfortably, and then Shelby Miller's got to come into the game. That's not good. That's not good. You're up 9-1, and Shelby Miller's got to come into the game in the ninth inning because the new guy, Anthony Di Scalfani, I don't usually rip Italians, but I will this time, didn't do a very good job.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Hey, it's Gambo. What are you doing?
Anthony.
Huh? What are you doing? What are you doing blowing the
Get
lead like
outta
that?
here,
Huh? What are you doing?
Anthony.
I'm going to Italy in a few weeks and you're blowing leads. What are you doing? Huh? Yeah, it
Wasn't good. Wasn't
it really,
good.
I mean, truly, it was about the only thing. Well, okay, it was like the second thing to complain about today. The only other thing was that Corbin Carroll wasn't in the lineup.
Yep, after getting
Because
hit
he
by
got
the
hit
pitch.
by the pitch last night. He was out. They referenced it many times during the broadcast, and they said if they can avoid him today, which they did, then they hope he'll be good to go for the Colorado series starting tomorrow. That hopefully it wasn't that serious. There was just a little swelling
A lot of
there.
hit by pitches today.
Yeah, a lot of just the
guys are
whole
getting hit by pitch.
series. I mean, comebackers off of Ryan Nelson's leg. Last night there was a comebacker off of Thompson. There was a comebacker off of it wasn't Beeks. Who was the other one? There was a comebacker off of it. But yeah, it was like dangerous out there.
Scott?
Yeah, it was Scott.
It was definitely Thompson.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other one last night
Thompson,
was.
and
too.
today was Nelson early in the game.
But for the most part, like look, this is what needed to happen. Okay, like you couldn't. I know we've been riding the roller coaster of the Diamondbacks of you get swept, you sweep, you get swept, okay. That they needed to salvage this series. They needed to walk away without a sweep against Toronto. They got humiliated last night. They got just their brains beat in. And the night before we know what happened with Shelby Miller. But I'm hitting zoom out a little, and I'm going, okay. You had 3 games against the Padres. You had 3 games against the Blue Jays. Those are 2 of the best records in Major League Baseball. And not that 500 is anything to pat yourself on the back about, but you went 3-3 in those 6 games. And that's probably the bare minimum what you needed to do to set yourself up for what's about to start tomorrow. 3 against the Rockies, 3 against the White Sox, 3 against the Miami Marlins. Now, the standards are going to be different for those 3 series. You've got to win a lot of baseball games. You've got to really move north
Yes.
over the next 9 games.
Yes.
But I think for now, winning today, avoiding the sweep, you kind of paid the minimum on the credit card, right? Like you needed to go 3-3 in these 6 games. You did. You made the minimum balance payment. You're all right. You can move on to bigger things.
Yeah, I mean,
now.
you couldn't get swept by Toronto. You had to find a way to win that game. And they broke out the bats today. It was a terrific game by Gino Suarez. Gino hit the 2-run homer in the second after Naylor had the bloop single. And then Gino has the 2-run double in the 3rd inning to make it 4-1. And then from there, I like the tack-on runs. Pavin Smith hit a 2-run homer. It's 6-1. From there, Marte with an RBI double and Pavin with a sac fly. It's 9-1. I thought that ball might have snuck in there that Pavin hit, but they actually called it a catch. So it's 9-1. And then I think the big story, too, I think is Ryan Nelson. Ryan Nelson, 85 pitches in the game. He was sensational.
Yeah.
I think he only gave up the 1 hit. He had a terrific Was it just a 1 hit?
It was just the 1 hit, yes.
Just
sir.
a 1 hit. And now he did walk Bichette, and then he got the fielder's choice in the 6th, and they took him out of the game. He hit Jimenez in the 5th, but got the double play out of Clement. But overall, terrific outing out of Ryan Nelson when they really needed it.
5 2/3, the 1 hit, the 1 run. He walked 2, he struck out 4. He was remarkably efficient. And I think, honestly, had his arm been built up a little bit more, I think he could have gone even deeper in this game. They were talking on the broadcast a little bit about declining velocity. Maybe he was
that
getting a
scared
little
the hell out
tired.
of me when he was down to
mentioning-
91 or 92. He was up to 96.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no,
oh, no.
Me too.
Oh, no, please don't say that. Don't say it.
And part of me was just hoping hey, he was tired. He kind of hit a wall, right? Like he was getting a little gas because he's not stretched
Don't
out.
scare us like that.
He threw 83 pitches in today's game, 5 2/3. I mean, he was just, again, incredibly efficient, remarkable at his job. Wish he could have gotten a little deeper. The thing to complain about in this game, and I know we're making fun about his Italian heritage, and we never make fun of anybody based off their Italian
We
heritage.
usually give the Italians a little bit of a break.
Unless their name is John Gambadoro, then
Right.
we do make fun of their Italian heritage a little bit. Scagliani, he needs to finish that game, right? Like you need to avoid Shelby Miller. You need to.
No, it's a terrible job by Di Stefani. Terrible job.
That Shelby Miller even had to get warm in that game because at some point, and our friend Jack Summers made this point on Twitter, and he's not wrong. At some point, that will come back to bite you against Colorado. You will not be able to use, in all likelihood, Shelby Miller in one of the games against the Colorado Rockies that you probably would have wanted to. Because of this, because of DeSclafani's inability to do his job in this moment today.
I don't have any problem with bringing Shelby Miller into that game, though. Do you? Like, even though it's a
no,
4-run lead,
no,
I'm not taking
no.
any chances.
No,
I'm not taking any chances.
That's not the root of my complaint. The root of my complaint is that by having to use Shelby today, and you did, Tory made the right call. By having to use him, you've now put his availability against the Rockies in somewhat of a question mark.
Yeah.
He'll be available. I just don't know when, right?
Yeah, DeSclafani hadn't pitched since 2023 in the majors. But his first 2 outings with the Arizona Diamondbacks are not very good because he had the bad outing against the San Diego Padres where he gave up 2 runs on 3 hits in 2 1/3 inning. And then he comes out here and he gets rocked in this game. So he's not, 2 games. He's a veteran pitcher. He's 35 years old. And this is the problem you run into if you're Mike Hazen. You're going to the scrap heap time and time again for relievers. You're constantly going to the scrap heap. You're getting guys like this. And sometimes it works out when you go get Jalen Beeks, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes you bring a kid up from the minors like Backhouse, and it works out. And then you bring up another guy, and it doesn't work out. So it's been mix and match. This just adds to the main problem the Diamondbacks have is the amount of runs that they gave up in the last 3 innings of a baseball game is mind-boggling. It really is. And it's just added to that.
Yeah.
Just added to the list.
And that's a good point about Hazen. And look, so he tried it, and it doesn't appear to be working with the DeSclafani. And so how much longer do you stick with them? How much longer do you ride this out? How much longer do you go, okay, never mind? We're better off with Bryce Jarvis. We're better off with somebody else. We're better off going a different. You know what I mean? Like at some point, you can't. And I know you claimed him off waivers, and he declined his minor league assignment. But with the Yankees, But at some point, you're going to have to decide if you're Mike Hazen, okay, enough's enough. I need to try something else on for size.
They gave JP
and see if I can get lightning in a bottle.
They gave JP Fireeisen 2 opportunities to pitch. He had an ERA of 9. They got rid of him. So he got 2. But think about the guys that JP Fireeisen and Jeff Brigham and Taylor Scott and Anthony DeSclafani and the amount of pitches that they've had to go through this year that you don't even know who these guys are.
It's a great point.
Is remarkable. They didn't even know who these guys. Nobody knew who these guys were in the beginning of the season.
No, and it's just you're hoping to find that lightning in a bottle. You're hoping to find that one guy, that Jalen Beeks, that Kyle Backus, the one guy who and both of those guys. Backus in particular, and we'll talk about last night's game in the next segment because we got to have a Kevin Ginkel conversation, but. Murillo looks suddenly like, okay, maybe he's a guy that you can start to count on a little bit. Backus looks like a guy that you can hold your breath, count on a little bit, right? We'll see. There's still many more opportunities for those guys to continue to prove themselves. They're not finished products by any stretch, but in this bullpen world, with this bullpen as bad as it is, man, you've only got about 2 or 3 opportunities to show that you belong and you can get the job done. And if not, it's probably time to move on and try something else.
Yeah, Brigham was 3 or 4 outings and then back to the minors. Fireeisen, gone right away. You just look at all the pitchers they use. It's remarkable. Yeah. It's how many they've used. But again, the struggles like late, the amount of runs this team gives. This is what you score a lot of runs. Because
keep scoring, baby.
Yeah, but let's
that's Campbell. Keep scoring. I've been saying it for 2 weeks. You know this. We've been talking.
Score runs.
Score as many runs as you can, guys.
Because this team is just not getting the job done.
You need all the runway you can get when it comes to this bullpen. Score as many runs as you can. And along those lines, we're going to have a Gino Suarez specific conversation a little later on in the show, and kind of an interesting one. But credit to him, 20 homers, 20 or more homers. 60 or more RBI before July 31st.
I screenshotted that on the TV today.
Before July 1st, pardon me, not July 31st.
Gonzo had like 32. That's funny you've got that stat up because I actually I screenshotted it.
Yeah, because they put it up on the broad. Paul Goldschmidt did it. Yeah. Luis Gonzalez did
Look at Gonzo's numbers.
32 homers and 78 RBI before July 1st in 2001. Steve Finley did it. I would have lost that bet every day that ends in Y. Matt Williams did it back in 1999. In the history of the Diamondbacks, those 5 guys.
20 homers, 60 RBIs before July 1st.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Where did you see that?
Right there on the old Twitter machine, right there.
I just take a picture of it on my TV.
Michael McDermott. Plus the D-backs. I know you don't check email on a regular basis. There's a nice little note there from the Diamondbacks.
Oh, they sent it?
Staff. Yeah, they said Casey Wilcox is.
He's
good. A pro.
He's a pro's pro.
He's a pro's pro. They're on top of things over there at Arizona Diamondbacks.
It's come a long way since they put his phone number up on the board to try to get him a girlfriend. Hey, call me maybe. I know it's crazy. And they threw his phone number and picture up there.
He's a married father.
Now he's married. Father.
He's doing fine. He's doing just fine.
Did he meet her off of that day?
I don't know.
Aspiring minds want to know.
I don't know. I'm sure he'll be texting us any minute now to give us the answer to that question, I would think. When we come back, a moment on last night's game. They got their doors blown off. But there's one thing in particular about last night's game that requires a little bit of conversation.
Yes, it does.
The Arizona Diamondbacks have themselves a Kevin Ginkel problem.
They got a Ginkel problem.
And that's not going to be a lot of fun to talk about because we like Kevin Ginkel. But we're going to talk about it anyway next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Hey everybody, this is Dan Bickley.
And Vince Marotta.
The Arizona heat is dangerous, but you can help save the lives of our most vulnerable neighbors.
Arizona Sports and the UPS Store are teaming up with the Phoenix Rescue Mission to fight thirst and heat-related illness. You can drop off water at a participating UPS Store location or donate today. Just text WATER to 620-620 to learn more.
The Arizona Sports Water Drive benefiting the Phoenix Rescue Mission is presented by the UPS Store.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. I am quite aware of the dangers being on the road. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. These families' lives will be changed in an instant. We fight for these families as if they were our own. We've become America's largest injury law firm by winning cases just like these. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Injured? Dial # law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with Dr. Osafi, founder of New Life Dental Implant Center. And doctor, you're doing more than giving people new smiles. You are transforming lives. When I visited your Scottsdale location, I was amazed at how many people were getting their new smiles. Who can benefit from full mouth dental implant treatments?
The patients that benefit from this treatment are those that are either missing multiple teeth, they are suffering from some form of gum disease, they have periodontal disease, patients that have been wearing dentures that are ill-fitting, or they're just unhappy with the appearance of their smile with their dentures. Those patients can benefit from this procedure. Also, those that have limited access to insurance or funds. We really wanted to make this treatment as comprehensive and affordable to anyone that needs and can benefit from it.
Go to newsmilearizona.com or call 602-855-0000. New Life Dental Implant Center, where a new smile means a new life.
Here are the top 3 headlines on Arizonasports.com, presented by Y-Refi. I'm Alex Weiner. Eugenio Suarez drives in 4 runs in a win over the Blue Jays. Diamondbacks place catcher Gabriel Moreno on the injured list. And Arizona State teases new Adidas football uniforms incoming. Those are the top 3 headlines on Arizonasports.com, presented by Y-Refi.
Less than a week ago, we had Tory Lovullo on the show. We had just found out Justin Martinez was going to have the Tommy John surgery. We had yet to find out A.J. Puck's throwing program was going to be paused, and he was going to go revisit the doctor in L.A., but we would find that out later in the day. And, of course, we asked Tory about the state of the bullpen, and he said, look, I got to figure out a way to get to Shelby Miller, and there's one guy who kind of rises above the rest.
We have one guy in particular in Kevin Ginkel, right? He is somebody that has stood and on the biggest stage and gone out there and executed at a really high level. He was in the 7th or 8th inning of the NLCS, and he had the entire top of the lineup, the Philadelphia Phillies, that he overmatched and got out to push it to the next level, to the next inning. So I know we have somebody sitting here that can do it. It's just a matter of getting him confidence, getting his pitch shaping, getting his fastball location right, and we can go from there. So those are guys that we're going to count on. Some need more work than others, but they're here, and we got to get it done.
It almost makes me cringe playing that, you know? Like, I almost don't want to play that because Kevin Ginkel, we know what he's done for this team. We know what he's meant to this organization. It hurts watching him struggle like this, like more than any of the other ones, right? I don't know if you feel the same way. More than
I was a big fan of his.
I know.
I'm a big Ginkel fan. You know me going in. I was like, I always trusted Ginkel. But he doesn't have it this year. This isn't his year.
13.5.
And his ERA since he came back is 18. So since he came back, from his stint in the minors, he's given up 5 runs in 2 innings, 4 hits, 3 walks. In his last 3 innings pitched combined, he's given up 9 hits, 4 walks, and 10 runs. 10 runs in his last 3 innings. That's a 30 ERA. That's an ERA of 30.
That's math on the fly right there, folks. You're not going to get that either.
Not going to get that anywhere else. Where else can you get that?
Calculator isn't going to give it to you that
I
fast.
mean, this is brutal. It is brutal what he is, what he's pitching to. Just can't get outs. And I don't know. Listen, at this point, he's your lowest leverage guy. He's he's the guy you bring into the game when you're down 9-1 and say, "Get me an inning." You can't have Kevin Ginkel work in a game in which it's close. You can't. You put him in that Padres game the other day, and you had a nice lead, and you barely won the freaking game. You barely won that game. You had to have 5 runs in the 9th to win the game. But when Ginkel came in, they were down. So they were down at one point. They were down 5-3.
I was going to say they were down a run or two.
5-3, but you bring Ginkel in the game, and now you're down 7-3. Made it worse. It was 5-3. You bring Ginkel in. That's more of a high leverage situation, only being down 2, and then you're down 4. I don't think you could pitch him in close games right now.
No, I don't think you can either. And it's funny, we were talking about DeSclafani in the last segment, and we're like, okay, how much longer of a leash does he have before they're just going to try something else? It's a different story with Ginkel. I think there's a different trust level with Ginkel. Now, they might have to send him back down to Reno to keep working on things. They might have to decide but in terms of, believing in him that he could one day be that guy again, I don't know. I haven't talked to Mike Hazen about this, but I would think Ginkel has earned enough equity with him and with Tory that they're going to ride with him. And even if that means sending him down to Reno, they'll send him down to Reno to try to get him right. Again, but all I can think about is the Diamondbacks, they won today. They're 37-37 on the season. I just checked the standings. As of right now, this moment, and this will change because there's a lot of games going on right now. But as this moment right now, the Diamondbacks are 2.5 games out of the last wild card in the National League, okay? Just take that and juxtapose it with the fact that Justin Martinez's season is done. A.J. Puck's season is probably done. And Kevin Ginkel is pitching to an ERA of 13.5. And you almost have to say to yourself, how the hell could anybody have thought they'd be 2.5 games out of the last wild card spot in the National League, knowing that their primary 9th inning guy, 8th inning guy, and 7th inning guy are all either out or terrible. It's almost a miracle they're sitting where they are right now, in a way.
It really is. I was just looking at something now, and I'm like, I'm trying to figure out really quick on the fly. What's the Scalfani's ERA right now after today? Do you know?
I can look it up on the box score. It'll tell me that
what's his ERA?
10.38.
Okay. This year alone, this is just so ridiculous. Joe Mantiply, 15.83. Kevin Ginkel, 13.50. What did you have for D. Scalfani?
10.38.
10.38. Scott, 11.25. Diaz, 9. JP Fireisen, 9. Graveman 8.64, Brigham 8.10. No,
look away.
Scott McGuff 6.43, Bryce Jarvis 6.1. I mean, these are just relievers. These are all just relievers. These are reliever ERAs. Ryan Thompson 5.14. The amount of Diamondback relievers that have an ERA over 5. The amount of Diamondback relievers that have an ERA over 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 guys. 9 with these Sclafani. 9.
I knew there's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 guys.
Lauren and I are looking at each other. I know there's more in there coming.
It's because it's these. I hadn't add DeSclafani from today. They have 9 pitchers that have been in their bullpen that have an ERA over 8. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and that's a. Not to blindly defend Tory Lovullo, I don't know why the hell he's pitching to Vlad last night in that situation.
That's the dumbest thing that Lovullo's done in a long time.
No idea why he's pitching to Vlad.
Or maybe a week or two. That was so dumb. So dumb.
Obviously, we're not blindly defending Tory because we're ripping Tory for pitching to Vlad. I don't know why he's doing that.
And what was the key to the game yesterday? Don't pitch to Vlad with runners in scoring position.
Does he not listen to the Burns and Gamble?
Did we not say the key to the game is
don't pitch to that dude?
Don't pitch to Guerrero with runners in scoring position. He's really good.
Don't do it. Yeah.
And they pitch with second and third. They decide to, and we're all thinking All right, and then so I'm sitting there with my kid. We're all watching this game. We're watching this game live yesterday. And I say, he goes, "I'm going to pitch him." I go, "No, he's going to throw 4 balls outside the strike zone." And matter of fact, they'll probably, once he throws the first 2, they'll just give him the intentional walk. And he throws a ball outside the strike zone. And then the next one is a strike. Oh, he threw it over the plate. I'm like, I'm shocked he threw it over the plate. And then it got to 2. He had 2 strikes on him, and he hits the ball into the freaking gap and drives a couple of runs in. And like, Lovullo, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
My point about bringing up Tory is simply this. When you rattle off a list like that of all the relievers who are rocking ERAs of 8, 9, 10, whatever, over 6, over 7, you understand, like, every night when he's got a lead going into the 6th inning, you know how fragile that is for him trying to figure out, okay, who do I throw tonight? Who do I believe in tonight? Who do I think can get the job done tonight when I've been all season long dealing with a group of guys who have ERAs north of 6,
right?
Who have ERAs north of 5.
It's like the Derek Jeter commercial when he's in the dugout and they go, "Derek, you're up," and it's like 7 guys on the. There's only one guy you can count on. You don't want anybody else coming up.
Derek, not you.
Yeah, not you.
That Derek.
The other one.
That Derek. That at that moment, you gotta feel for Tory a little bit. Like I know not everybody's a big Tory Lovullo fan, but when you look at the options that he hasn't had this year, it's almost a miracle they've won 37 baseball games and they're 2.5 out of the final wild card spot.
You know, Hazen knows that he can't do anything big till the deadline. So we had said this. It's going to be a bunch of signing guys to minor league contracts and seeing if they could pitch. You bring up DeSclafani, he throws 2 games, you probably get rid of him now. Like, in all honesty, like you probably get rid of him. Like you just try. Can you help me? Okay, great. No, like Backhouse.
Bacchus. Boone's Farm Bacchus. Boone's Farm Bacchus.
Guy's pitched in 4 games. He hasn't given up a run. Okay, there's a guy that works.
We're treating him like
Boone's from Bacchus.
He's been here 4 games. We're treating him like he's a savior because he doesn't give up a run, right? Like, that's how desperate we are.
Right. They're bringing the 35-year-old veteran guy, and he can't get it out.
If you use our app, and we hope you do, update your Arizona Sports app right now for the latest upgrades to your streaming, videos, podcasts, and news experience. We promise you it will be worth it. We turn our attention to Kevin Durant. And with all the offers for Kevin Durant, are the T-Wolves still in the hunts or have other teams upped their offer? That's next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Suns on New Horizon. KD Watch.
Arizona Sports is on KD Watch.
As reports roll in about an imminent Kevin Durant trade,
Arizona Sports has a line into the Suns corner office to find out all the details we can about the future Hall of Famers trade value and the timeline of when it might happen.
There are a lot of teams that are interested in getting Kevin Durant.
KD Watch.
The home of your Phoenix Suns. Arizona Sports 98.7.
The Arizona Sports app.
And ArizonaSports.com.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
A new diamond era begins. Desert Diamond Casino White Tanks is now open. An atmosphere sparkling with excitement and top names like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse and signature Starbucks coffee. Best of all, this stunning new destination is right at Loop 303 and Northern Parkway. So come and live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Dan Bickley here for Parker & Sons, and summertime in Arizona means triple-digit temperatures and hours spent indoors, which means now is a great time to get your air conditioning unit tuned up by Parker & Sons, which can prolong the life of your system, save you up to $30 a month on utility bills, and give you the peace of mind you need entering the long, hot summer ahead. Call 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Lauren Colville with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's your ball game. Diamondbacks prevent the sweep, and they win the finale by a final score of 9-5. The offense really shined in this one, and Ryan Nelson turned in a dominant starting pitching performance.
That's right, everybody. The Diamondbacks avoided the sweep against the Toronto Blue Jays today with a 9-5 victory. But there is some bad news for the Diamondbacks. They've placed catcher Gabriel Moreno on the 10-day injured list with a right hand contusion. In a corresponding move, they've selected the contract of catcher Aramis Garcia from AAA Reno. And ASU is alluding to the release of new and refreshed football uniforms. Those will be fully revealed on July 1st. And Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tonight between the Thunder and the Pacers as the Thunder look to win it all. According to Shams Charania, Tyrese Halliburton is going to be gutting it out to play on the court tonight for the Pacers. Tip-off for that one is at 5:30 over on ESPN 620 AM. This report is brought to you by YRefi. Don't let private student loan debt ruin your life. Go to yrefi.com. That's YREFY.com.
Hey, it's Vince Marotta. Join us on Friday. Will the Oklahoma City Thunder be lifting the Larry O'Brien? That and a lot more starting at 6 here on Arizona Sports.
That's right, Game 6 coming up tonight. Will the Pacers force a Game 7 despite the gimpy calf of Tyrese Halliburton? Or is tonight the coronation of Oklahoma City and the Thunder's first championship? Find out tonight, 5:30 tip time, Game 6 of the NBA Finals. In the meantime, I would assume, Gambo, that it's 4 o'clock here in Arizona. It's 7 o'clock on the East Coast. It's Game 6 of the NBA Finals. I'm sure the league would rather no Kevin Durant news stealing
I wasn't
thunder.
expecting it today. Even yesterday when I said no trade, no Kevin Durant trade yesterday, and I said probably not tomorrow either. So we're probably looking at Friday or into the weekend for this to get done, for the Kevin Durant trade to get done. As we know, there's not a lot of new information coming out. There are teams out there that have made offers. None of the offers have been good enough.
Yep.
I had always said that I had believed that Minnesota had the best offer. And I know Miami fans and other fans, when I said their offer wasn't good enough, oh, you don't think I never said he's not going to go there. I just said their offer wasn't good enough. So at this point, their offer wasn't good enough. So those teams, and obviously if their offer was good enough, Kevin Durant would have been traded by now. Desmond Bane got traded, right? Memphis got a trade offer they liked. We like that trade offer. Let's make that trade. Okay, we don't have to wait any longer.
Sure, let's get
That's a good trade. Let's do it. If there was a good quality trade offer on the table, it would have been done. But you negotiate. You go back to these teams and you try to get them to sweeten the pot. Can you get an extra draft pick? Can you get a future draft pick? Can you get an extra young asset? So you continue to negotiate until you get something that you feel, okay, this is an acceptable trade. So, when I said, Miami and other teams didn't have Toronto, that their offers weren't good enough. Their offers at that time were not good enough.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they can't change their offers. We've said it from day one. You always have the ability. It's negotiating, and the Cardinals, the Suns are debating the offers, and they're negotiating with the teams to try to get better offers.
Shams Charania was on Pat McAfee's show today, and what he said is probably going to sound a little familiar because if you were listening to our show yesterday, short as it might have been, Gambo basically said the same thing that Shams said today when he was on Pat's show.
The longer this drags out, the more we're going to be talking about it. Kevin Durant's one of the best players in the league still today. He's going to go down as, top 15, top 20
50,
player
40, 90.
of all time, top 10 player of all time.
Sir.
So,
yes,
and his stats, this is what he's doing even at this age is remarkable. The Suns know if they're going to trade Kevin Durant, they clearly have a price threshold they want met. And I had one team tell me today, it's kind of a game of chicken at this point. Mm-hmm. From the Rockets to the Heat, to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's literally one or two pieces away, either which way, that can get a deal done. But at the end of the day, one of these teams has to meet that threshold to get something done. The NBA draft is about a week away, so could this go into the NBA draft? For sure. But I don't think the Suns wanted to. I don't think the other teams wanted to. You want to get those deals done. So my understanding is they're in active conversations with those three teams specifically on trying to get a deal done for Kevin Durant, having their price threshold met. I would also not be surprised if this has 3-4 team deal scenarios too. This is also something that could branch into much more than just being a one-for-one trade.
We talked a lot about that yesterday. I think there was a lot of familiar information in there based off of what you had said yesterday. The one thing about that soundbite that caught my attention when I saw it on social media today is the continued inclusion of Minnesota. That's the one thing that really caught
because my belief is that they have had the best offer to date,
and not because of that. My curiosity about the inclusion of Minnesota is that I had thought that because KD had said through back channels, I don't want to go there, that they had sort of been semi-eliminated from the conversation. You know what I mean? That it's not so much that they bowed out. Well, that they bowed out.
Okay,
I mean that's the impression that through the reporting of others that we've sort of been left with over the last 24 hours, that Minnesota has gotten wind from Kevin Durant, I don't want to come play for you. And as much as Minnesota early in this process was about, hey, we don't care, we'll convince you, we'll talk you into it, you'll think it's great, it feels like through the reporting of the last 48 hours or so that Minnesota's cooled on that idea. And like, hey, look, really, if he doesn't want to be here, and if Ant's not pushing us to go get him, what are we doing? We shouldn't be going to get Kevin Durant. So I'm surprised.
But you could negotiate with KD.
Them still.
You could try to convince KD to go there.
Sure.
You know, what would it take? KD, what do you need? I'll have a bunch of teenagers come and shovel out your driveway every time it snows. We're good. You'll never have to shovel your driveway. I'll have somebody there every time it snows shoveling that driveway out for you.
KD, I'll personally show up to your house, start your car, warm up the engine for 10 minutes so the car's nice and toasty when you get in.
Yes, I'll scrape off all the ice when you're leaving the arena. I'll scrape off all the ice. You don't have to worry about it. You're not going to have to worry about slipping.
You'll have your personal snow plow that will drive in front of you everywhere you go in Minnesota.
Yeah.
You will never drive on an unplowed road as long as you live here.
Throw some salt down on that ice so you don't slip, KD. We'll make sure you're taken care of.
But your point is that KD is the one who needs the convincing here, and perhaps that's going on behind the scenes. Perhaps Minnesota or perhaps the Suns are working with KD to say, hey, look, can do us a solid here, you know? Like, I don't know what Kevin Durant owes the Phoenix Suns, probably nothing.
And what do the Suns owe him?
Nothing. But this is a Minnesota problem. This isn't a Suns' lack of willingness to send Kevin somewhere he doesn't want to go. I don't think that's a problem. I think the problem is from Minnesota's end. Hey,
I agree.
We just can't do this. You know, like
they might be getting cold feet or lukewarm on it.
And that's why I'm fascinated that Shams still included Minnesota in his conversation as if they're still viable. I just kind of thought they weren't at this
the million-dollar question is, would Minnesota take Kevin Durant if he's through back channel saying, I don't want to go there? Would they still make the trade?
That is the million-dollar
Because, again, between the bird rights that they have to be able to give him more money, the ability to do a sign and trade, if he doesn't want to be there after a year, sign and trade, you can move on. And for them, maybe the ability to get off of a contract they don't want, you know, that could be enticing to them and enough for them to do a deal, even without Durant's, assurances that he's going to re-sign with them.
As far as the Spurs go, here's what Shams said on Pat's show about them.
For the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, both in their 20s, in the prime of their career. My feel right now is that the Spurs, they have interest in Kevin Durant. They have talked to the Suns, to my understanding, about Kevin Durant, but there's a certain price threshold they'll go to for a guy like Kevin Durant, and if that price doesn't align with Phoenix's, then clearly there's just not going to be a deal. And if the Spurs are going to fully go all in, what they've done such a good job there, their general manager, Brian Wright, R.C. Buford, their CEO, they've stockpiled all their picks. They got De'Aaron Fox in a trade. They've got Stephon Castle, the reigning Rookie of the Year. They've got Victor Wembanyama. They've got different players that have value. We don't know yet which player could hit the market.
All the reporting on this from San Antonio's end is they're just not being that aggressive in pursuing Kevin Durant.
You want to take Vassell and Barnes and a pick, we'll do it.
Yeah, but other than that,
you're not getting the number 2.
Yep.
You're not getting Castle.
Nope.
So the main things that you want, the selling point, that would be the selling point. You can't, it's hard to do a deal with the Spurs and come out on top if you don't have the number 2 pick or you don't have Castle. I mean, I like Vassell. I like him, but I think I'd rather have Jabari Smith from Houston.
Yes.
Than I would Vassell, because I'd rather have a power forward than a redundant type player. But he's a good player. Like, they're good players. The Suns need to come away, they're going to have to sell. You got to have to sell it to your fan base. Hey, we just traded Kevin Durant. Here's what we got back. It's going to be a hard sell. It's not going to be because of what you gave up for him. The fans are never going to love this trade. But like we've said all along, you got to try not to lose the trade. You got to try to, you're not going to win the trade. You got to try not to lose it. You got to try to make, okay, I can see that. That's a fair offer. We got back some good pieces for the future.
Yeah. Not technically. There's still, the draft is in 6 days. In technicality, there's no rush for this. If it doesn't get done this week, okay, fine. It doesn't get done this week. You heard, you've been saying you thought this week was the week, and Shams just said in one of those sound bites I played that the Suns would like to get this done with, and everybody would like, and I'm sure everybody would like to get this done with and move on to other business. There are other NBA players who are kind of waiting for this to get done. From what I read today, DeMar DeRozan might be waiting for this to get done.
He's like in line after KD.
It's like, okay, after KD, he's the next guy up, right? So I get it. But in reality, the only rush that comes from this is are you a Suns fan and you're impatient about hearing about it and you're kind of sick of hearing about it? Okay, I get that. For me as a Suns fan, I'm really anxious to see what the return is. I'm really anxious to see what the pieces are, how they fit. Did they move up in the draft? What kind of player could they get in the draft?
Did they get any future assets?
Did they get
draft
future
picks?
assets? I'm not sick of it. I'm not oh God, just trade them already. I'm curious to see what the return is going to be when it's all said and done. And so there's no rush. They could take this right up until 2 hours before the draft. And I know you've said you think this is the week. I wouldn't be surprised if they take it right up until the draft, because this process just hasn't yielded the kind of returns I think the Phoenix Suns were hoping for. I think it's fair to say that, right?
Yeah, I think
they would have thought by now somebody would have stepped up and said, you know what, we want him bad enough. Okay, we'll give you that thing that we didn't think we wanted to give you for him.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I still think that they want to get the deal done as soon as they can. It's just, not going to jump at an offer they don't think is a reasonable offer. So that's why, you take the time to negotiate. Now, the second somebody, you're negotiating with this team. So what would it take? The team says, Team A says, what would it take to get it done? Well, you've got to put in either A, B, or C. A could be a young player. B could be a draft pick this year. C could be a future draft pick. If you put in A, B, or C, we'll be able to get this over the finish line. The second that team does that and says, you know what? We'll include that. Well, now you can't go back to that team and say, okay, hey, listen, we're going to call these other four. That was it. You needed me to do this to get it across the finish line. I agreed to do this. Then the deal's done. Yeah. That could be tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. But that's what I believe it's going to take. I believe that there are several teams out there that know what it would take to get it across the finish line. And the first one to say, okay, this is what you wanted. I'm willing to give it to you. Do we have a deal? Yes, we have a deal. We're done. Yeah. It's over.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, it has been suggested that perhaps the Suns should take a pause on sending off Kevin Durant. Should they pause this? That's next on Burns and Gambo.
Tomorrow afternoon at 2:30, Burns and Gambo talk Diamondbacks baseball with D-backs manager Tory Lovullo. Brought to you by Estrella Jalisco. Don't miss Burns and Gambo with the skipper, 2:30 tomorrow afternoon. Listen on the Arizona Sports app and 98.7.
Summer heat is brutal, and that's why I tell you about Christian Brothers AC Plumbing and Electric, ready to help you right now with all of your AC needs. If you're looking for an AC company that can come out to you right away and fix your broken AC unit, the last thing in the world you want is to have an AC unit that's not working properly and not getting you through. And you don't want to go spend a night in a hotel or 2 nights in a hotel. You want Christian Brothers to come out, fix your AC unit properly, and get it done ASAP. Technicians in the Valley, A+ rated, ready to help you whenever you call. So if you notice at any point your AC's not blowing cold air, call Christian Brothers at 602-222-3535. Now, if you happen to need a new AC unit, they carry Trane and Bryant and Goodman. They've got all the top name brands. Just give them a call. Christian Brothers at 602-222-3535 or online at cbrothers.com.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Saturday, June 21st for National Smoothie Day. We're celebrating our Tropic Rewards members with a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Order in-app, online, or pop by the cafe. Terms and conditions apply.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
NASCAR Prime is gearing up for the Tricky Triangle at Pocono.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
After 5 decades of racing tradition, it's clear that strategy is king at Pocono.
Finally, some separation between first, second, and third.
3 legendary turns, 3 unique approaches.
Wow, that's close.
Who will tame the triangle this year? Don't miss the Cup Series at Pocono, streaming Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. NASCAR, it's on Prime.
It's heating up in Phoenix, and while most can beat the heat with a cold drink in the shade, many in our community cannot. This month, the UPS store and Arizona Sports are teaming up to collect water donations for Phoenix Rescue Mission, all to keep our community hydrated and healthy this summer. And your donation can make a big difference. Text WATER to 620-620 to find participating the UPS store locations near you, or to make a donation. Text WATER to 620-620.
Message and data rates may apply.
Monsoons, wild winds, roof destruction, driving rain. Is your roof prepared?
Hi, I'm Lori Clark, owner of Right Way Roofing. We offer free estimates and up to 12 months, same as cash. Let's get your roof ready before the storm strikes. Remember, there's only one way, the right way.
The right way roofing, we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Join the Arizona Diamondbacks for the 12th annual Diamondbacks Race Against Cancer presented by Dignity Health Cancer Institute. The 5K run or walk is downtown at Chase Field on Sunday, September 28th. Register now at dbacks.com/race.
One thing about the NBA now today, it's so easy to go out and say, the coach ain't doing this, the coach ain't doing that. Are you putting the right pieces around to really compete for a championship?
Arizona Sports.
First and foremost, I don't think Phoenix had the right pieces to really say they were going to compete for a championship this year.
Suns, a new horizon shaping the Suns' future this offseason with Burns and Gambo.
All right, back here on the Burns and Gambo show on this Thursday afternoon. I know it's a national holiday, Juneteenth. We were, I'll be honest with everybody out there, we were gonna have the day off. And the powers that be, rightfully so, decided that if there was a Kevin Durant trade today, that we should definitely be on the air for it.
Yes.
So that's why you got a full slate of local pride. And that's cool. We've got some of the most fun, coolest jobs in the world, so we're more than fine to be here. But it doesn't appear as if it's going to happen today. It's like I mentioned in the last segment, it's 7:17 on the East Coast. The NBA Finals are about to begin. The league does not want news leaking of a Kevin Durant trade 2 hours before the finals.
And Burge has got that countdown on. It's like, I'm on vacation come Saturday, man. Let's get this KD. I want to talk about the KD trade. Let's go. I want this over with.
I said no. And see, now you're putting words in my mouth. That's
you
not
want it
what
done
I said.
before you go away.
I want it done before I go away because I don't like missing big things.
Question is it going to be done before I go away?
Seriously. That's okay. And I'm glad you said it because that kind of leads into the next question.
Okay.
Should the Suns take a pause on this for a minute? Is there any reason to take a pause on this? By a pause, I mean wait until after the draft. Free agency starts. A team thought they were going to get player X, Y, or Z. They didn't, and now they circle back and go, okay, on second thought, we'll give you this, that, and whatnot for Kevin. Is there any benefit to just, okay, let's pause on this for a minute?
Can you imagine, Kevin, the longer you pause it and wait and wait and wait, the more realistic it becomes that you start the season with Kevin Durant on your roster, which they don't want to do. They tried to trade him without his knowledge, going back to December and January, going up to the deadline. He was involved in trade talks. He had to nix it himself. He wasn't happy about it. They all agreed that they would trade him this offseason. They all agreed we're going to trade you.
Yeah.
If you get to a point now where, again, okay, I don't, listen, my honest to feel, I'm an addition by subtraction guy. Okay. I always have been. I don't think the Suns could fully restart the reset until Beal and KD are gone.
Okay.
I think Beal and KD need to be gone. Addition by subtraction. I can't fathom what it would be like. And look, Kevin Durant's a great player. He's going to be the best player in the deal. He's Kevin freaking Durant. He's going to be the best player in the deal. You just got to make the best deal you can. And sometimes, you're selling something and you want to get $200 for it, and the best you could get is $100 for it. You take it, 50 cents on the dollar. You may not get great value, but you've got to make it. You don't want to make a bad deal. I don't want to take on bad contracts that are going to handcuff me for years. But I need to get back some draft picks. I need to get back some young capital, and I've got to start over.
And that, I think, is the fine line the Phoenix Suns are walking right now. Exactly what you just described a second ago. Like, you don't, and that's probably, I'm just going to guess here, probably why a lot of these teams have been hesitant to throw in that one last thing that the Phoenix Suns want.
Right.
Because they probably suspect at the end of the day, look, you can't bring him back. You can't. I know it. You know it. Everybody, Kevin knows it. Everybody knows it. You can't bring him back. So at the end of the day, you're more desperate than we are. All right. As much as you want to make me, the Houston Rockets, feel like I'm the desperate one here, the Miami Heat's the desperate one, we think you're the desperate one. We think you're the one who recognizes at the end of the day, you can't bring him back at all. And it's if you're using the desperation meter, the Suns might come across as the most desperate of the party because everybody knows.
I got an example.
What's your option? You're going to bring him back?
I got an example.
Okay.
Josh Rosen.
We'll
just keep him.
Oh God, it was.
If we don't get a good draft pick, we'll keep him.
No disrespect.
What, an early second?
No disrespect at all. But it was one of the biggest lies that
we'll just keep him.
Said. It was like when Steve Keim sat up there with a straight face. Oh no, we'll just keep him.
We'll keep him.
No, you're not going to keep him.
They wanted a late first or early second round pick for Josh Rosen. They ended up getting a late second from Miami.
Yeah.
And it was like Miami's third pick of the second round, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I believe you're correct. Yeah.
I think it was their last pick of the second round.
Yeah.
And as they finally tried, they didn't get anything near what they wanted for him.
Not even close.
They were hoping for a late first or an early second. They got Miami's third second round pick, if my memory's right, third second round pick at the end of the second round, which turned into the receiver, right?
You're going to make me look this up, right?
I think, yeah. And sometimes my memory's good, and sometimes it's not good. I think Miami had 3 second-round picks that year, and they ended up giving their last one for Josh Rosen. But again, to the point, you look it up, Steve Keim was adamant. That's what he said. He didn't mean it. We'll just keep him. We'll just keep Josh Rosen. No, I know we drafted Kyler Murray number 1 overall. We'll keep Rosen. We'll have 2 quarterbacks. And it was like, okay, then nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted to trade you anything good for him. Finally, Miami did. Finally, Miami made the trade.
I'm struggling to find it here, but that was the Andy Isabella, right? Andy Isabella was the player they got in that trade.
Yeah, from Miami.
Lauren nodding her head. Okay, yeah. So but I'm struggling to find out whether that was their third second round pick. But I think you're right. Either way, you're absolutely correct, and that's where the Suns, these teams that are holding back that one last thing the Suns want, they probably believe that. That's why was it Windhorst earlier in the week? He was the one who said, the Suns. Well, here it is. I got it right here. When he was on ESPN Cleveland on Tuesday, Brian Windhorst, the Suns could be faced with bringing Kevin Durant back.
It's a real stare down. Desmond Bane got traded for 4 first-round picks, and I see people saying, "Oh my God, if Desmond Bane gets traded for 4 first-round picks, Kevin Durant's got to get 6 first-round picks." No, you're not going to get that great of a package because the team paying for it isn't sure what Durant's going to do necessarily. And the teams that Durant wants to go to, Houston and San Antonio, for example, they're leery of paying a huge amount for a 37-year-old. Their whole teams are in their early to mid-20s.
Right.
So you don't have alignment in making everybody getting on the same page. What Durant wants, what the Suns need, what the teams want to pay
right.
with the contract. I would not rule out the Suns not being able to get a trade they like and having to make a decision like, do we not trade him at all?
Okay, so that's interesting. In listening to that cut again, what he's actually saying is, I would not rule out the Suns not being able to get a deal that they don't like, and then they would be faced with that decision: do we keep him? So he's kind of suggesting they would keep him, but what he's more suggesting is that they look at it and go, "Oh God, we don't really like these deals at all. What are we supposed to do here? Are we supposed to take a deal that we don't like, or are we supposed to bring him back?" And I think these teams.
That's a good question. So what do you do? Do you bring him back?
I don't. Again, and this is where the teams are like looking at Steve Keim like the Miami Dolphins were back in the 2019 draft. You can't keep him. You can't keep him.
We know you can't keep him.
We know you can't keep him. You know you can't keep him. Your fan base, our fan base, everybody knows you're not going to keep him. And I think ultimately the Suns will lose that stare down. They will, and they'll end up taking a deal that's probably lesser than what they want, and it's going to be tougher to sell.
As long as it doesn't bring back
they can't bring him back.
Yeah. I can make an argument if they end up with Jabari Smith that they got something of value back. I can make it. I don't like the Toronto trade at all. If they get Ware from Miami, I'm not the biggest Ware fan. But you can make the argument the kid's got a ceiling and upside, and he's young and he's tall and he's, he did fall like 15th in the draft. But you can make an argument that you have something you might be able to build with. Vassell, good player. I can make an argument you got a good player back if you make that, if you get him in a deal. Now, is it enough? No, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
But can you say we've got back a good piece that we like that we could use or trade down the road? I think they'll be able to do that.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, Gino Suarez was, wait for it, sensational again today. He's having a hell of a season. Have the Arizona Diamondbacks got to the point where they need to prioritize keeping Gino Suarez? And we'll talk about that next on the Burns and Gambo show.
Suns on New Horizon. KD Watch.
Arizona Sports is on KD Watch. As reports roll in about an imminent Kevin Durant trade, Arizona Sports has a line into the Suns Corner office to find out all the details we can about the future Hall of Famers trade value and the timeline of when it might happen.
There is no shortage of suitors for Kevin Durant.
KD Watch.
The home of your Phoenix Suns. Arizona Sports 98.7. The Arizona Sports app and ArizonaSports.com.
You got a financial advisor. Let me ask you a question. How often does he check in with you? How often does your financial advisor call you, give you an update on how everything's going, give you some suggestions, see if anything's changed in your life? A lot of things change in people's lives. Maybe you switched jobs, or you got a daughter that's getting married, or you've got grandkids on the way. Like, what? How often does your financial advisor call you? If you're telling me once or twice a year, it might be time for a new financial advisor. It really might be time. You got to have a relationship with your financial advisor. He needs to know you. He needs to know what's going on in your life, because a lot of the decisions he's going to be making are based on how your life is going. That's why I recommend Stuart Willis and Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. We've got 5 locations in the Valley: Gilbert, Goodyear, Peoria, Scottsdale, Tempe. They're going to help you with your financial plan, your retirement plan, your estate plan, and even come up with a tax plan for you. Give them a call at 602-877-PLAN, get a free portfolio review, and finally, have a real relationship with your financial advisor. The number again is 602-877-PLAN.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Something new is happening at Cox. Now the price of your Cox Internet and mobile plan won't go up for 3 years, and Wi-Fi equipment is included. So no frustrating price changes, just a lot more of what you want. Like a pizza with extra pineapple. Yikes. Okay, let's stick with something everyone wants. No price changes on your plan, guaranteed. Learn more at cox.com/value. Must have at least 500 megabits per second speeds and Cox Unlimited mobile taxes and fees excluded from price guarantee. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs usage per month.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Dan Bickley here for Parker & Sons, and summertime in Arizona means triple-digit temperatures and hours spent indoors, which means now is a great time to get your air conditioning unit tuned up by Parker & Sons, which can prolong the life of your system, save you up to $30 a month on utility bills, and give you the peace of mind you need entering the long, hot summer ahead. Call 602-2REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons.
I'm Lauren Koval with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's your ball game. Diamondbacks prevent the sweep, and they win the finale by a final score of 9-5. The offense really shined in this one, and Ryan Nelson turned in a dominant starting pitching performance.
The Diamondbacks avoided the sweep against the Toronto Blue Jays today with a 9-5 victory. But there is some bad news for the Diamondbacks. They've placed catcher Gabriel Moreno on the 10-day injured list with a right-hand contusion. In a corresponding move, they've selected the contract of catcher Aramis Garcia from AAA Reno. And ASU is alluding to the release of new and refreshed football uniforms for this season. Those will be fully revealed on July 1st. And Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tonight between the Thunder and the Pacers, as the Thunder look to win it all tonight. According to Shams Charania, Tyrese Halliburton is going to be gutting this one out to play on the court tonight. Tip-off for that one is at 5:30 over on ESPN 620 AM. This report is brought to you by America Roofing. America Roofing wants to give you some relief on your roof. Save 12% with their tariff and tax relief, or get a free inspection online at americaroofingco.com, Arizona's largest roofer.
The Burns and Gambo Need to Know Social Poll. Presented by Sanderson Ford.
Wasn't expecting this, but cool. Let's go with it. What is our social media poll question of the day?
Well, it's because it corresponds to this segment.
Oh, somebody got their wish. Right? This was
Yep.
Gambo's
this is
suggestion.
my
Gambo's
suggestion.
mind.
Okay.
It's from Gambo's mind, but we
Okay.
played with it a little bit.
It's a wonderful, a beautiful
Gambo.
mind. Was that a movie?
Yes.
It's a beautiful mind.
Yes.
But it's sleeping.
What is
On that note,
there's no easy transition. There's no easy way out.
There's no easy
into the
way
poll
out.
Question. There is not. What do we got? What's our slight tweak to the Gambo poll question?
our slight tweak to the Gambo poll question is, what should the Arizona Diamondbacks do with Good Vibes Gino?
Good vibes.
Oh, man.
Should they let him walk after the season?
Oh, boy.
Should they re-sign him after the season? Or should they trade him at the deadline?
Oh, boy.
There's a lot of moving parts on that last one.
Oh, boy.
All right, I'll let the cat out of the bag for the next 10 minutes of our show and our conversation. I'd let him walk. I mean, obviously, unless they absolutely stumble and collapse and fall apart, which I just don't think they're going to do, I would trade him if they're just done and out of it and forget it. I just don't think we're going to get to that point with this team, so I'd let him walk.
Okay.
You?
I'd consider a 1-year overpayment.
Wow, you consider it? Or you
a 1-year deal.
So you're voting for...
I would go to him and say, 1 year, we'll keep you. If you're going to get 2 from somebody else, we're going to let you go the way we let Christian Walker and Jock Peterson go.
Okay.
Then I think the results of this one might shock you guys, because 49% of our audience is going with trade him at the deadline.
Wow. 49% of our audience is like, yeah, they're toast.
They're done.
They're done. Get rid of them.
42% are going with re-sign him, and 9% going with let him walk.
I mean, okay, let me. That's a great poll question. Great poll question, Gambo.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank
Nice
you.
synergy
It's close.
between you and Lauren.
I'm going to retweet that bad boy right now.
Wow.
The Gambo retweet.
The power of the Gambo retweet.
Which every time I post,
it's been a minute since we've had that.
Everybody gets mad if I post something Diamondbacks or anything. I would just want my son's news.
What?
Losers. Yeah, because people have notifications on for me. So when I post something...
Oh, so they're pissed because they're expecting you to break Suns news
right,
when it's something else.
Right.
Get over
Hands down, the highlight of that was the mumbled losers under his breath.
Losers! Losers!
You loser. Gets the Gambo retweet. Gino Suarez
I just retweeted it.
Had himself a day today.
The 0-1. Swung on that is hit high and fairly deep out to right center field. Going back is Barger, still going back, looking up. It is gone. Opposite field home run for Suarez. That's number 22. He's got 60 RBIs on the season, and more importantly, a 2-0 Diamondback lead.
Only Pete Alonso has more runs driven in so far this year than Good Vibes Gino.
Good Vibes Gino.
His career high in RBI is 104. He's still got 88 games to play. He's got 62 RBI. His career high is 104. He's on pace to just destroy.
And he's one of my favorite
that.
interviews. He's just such a fun interview.
Fun guy.
You got any clips from the interview the other day? You got the third base one when he's coming around third base and trying to score. When I told him he's got to stop trying to go home.
Give
Good
Lauren
vibes, Gino. Yeah.
While Lauren looks for that, he also became the 5th player in Diamondbacks history to have 20 or more homers and 60 or more RBI before July 1st, joining Paul Goldschmidt, Luis Gonzalez, Steve Finley, and Matt Williams. So he joins some elite company. On that
yep.
one. Yeah. And
this is tough. This is really, listen, I give Hazen, I think Mike Hazen is a sensational general manager.
Yes.
And I give him a lot of credit for knowing when to walk away. Just walk away, Renee. Old song. I really like it. Knowing when to walk away. He walked away from Jock Peterson. That worked out great. Walked away from Christian Walker. That worked out great. Do you walk away from Gino Suarez and say, hey, you know what? We got everything we could out of you. You're going to be 34 years old next month.
Yeah.
You'll be 35. So if we signed you, you'll be finishing your years at 35, 36, 37 if you game. Do you sit there and say, you know what? We're good. We got 2 good years out of you. We're going to take it, and we're going to move on without taking the risk that you're going to hit a wall. Because one of the things about Christian Walker is that they believed that he was about to hit a decline.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They believed that. They believed that he was about to hit his decline. And so they would not go to $20 million for Christian Walker. They weren't going to do it.
And considering Christian Walker is riding the bench on my fantasy baseball team right now, I can confirm he has hit a wall.
He's hitting 216 with 10 home runs and 35 RBIs.
I never play him. I mean, I have him on my bench waiting for him to turn around, and he never plays. So, yeah, his numbers aren't there. Gambo, the answer is affirmative to me. I would let him walk.
Okay.
And I would do it for 2 reasons. And
okay.
You just named one of them. Or one of them is my unwavering trust in Mike Hazen to know when to hold him and know when to fold him, know when to walk away and know when to run. Like I was upset when he did it with Christian. I was upset when he did it with Jock. And Mike Hazen trumped me with his own smarts. Like, okay, watch this. Okay, watch this. Watch what I'm about to do. Watch the Josh Naylor rabbit I'm going to pull out of my hat. And watch Pavin Smith. He's going to be just fine. Wasn't Jock Peterson a year ago, but he's good. I have an unwavering ability and trust in Mike Hazen to know that now is the and we'll be fine. We'll be okay. And number 2, Jordan Lawler. You know, like if Gino played first, I would say let's consider keeping him. If Gino were a starting pitcher, because they're not going to have Corbin Burns next year, I would say let's consider
What about
keeping
DH?
him. He could potentially DH.
Let Grichuk go, and he becomes your designated hitter.
And if he's agreeable to doing that, okay, let's have a conversation.
Or
if he's agreeable to doing that, but
he's an insurance policy if Lawler doesn't play well.
Third base, I feel like if you're not going to give it to Jordan Lawler this time a year from now, you're not going to give it to Jordan Lawler. Like it's almost not.
How much of a gamble is it to give it to Lawler? We've seen he couldn't hit when he came up. He couldn't hit.
It's a huge gamble. It's a huge gamble. But you're also writing that against the idea that at some point Gino Suarez is going to decline.
Right.
He's going to. Like it's just a question of when and for whom. Do you want it to be on your watch? Do you want it to be on your team? Or do you want it to be on somebody else's watch like you did with Christian?
You want it to be on somebody else's
and Jock
watch.
Peterson. You do. And so look, I don't know if I believe in Jordan Lawler. If is he a 4A player? Is he a guy who will always be stuck in between the two, dominating AAA and no good at the majors? Maybe, but I think if I had to choose between re-sign or let him walk, I let him walk. To the point where, I was thinking about this because I knew you wanted to talk about this today, to the point where...
Okay, I'm listening.
Of all the guys who could get traded by the Diamondbacks if they choose to be sellers, Gino is number 1 on my list of the first guy I'm trading. Okay? The first guy. Because of Jordan Lawler and because you can make an argument, I need Josh Naylor back next year. I need Zach Allen back next year. I need Merrill Kelly back next year. Gino's the one guy you could say, do I need him back next year? Or do I have his replacement ready to go? That's why he'd be the first guy I would trade if I'm a seller on July 31st.
So what I would do is I would go to Gino and I would offer him a 1-year contract. He's making $15 million this year. I'd offer him a 1-year contract for $15, $16, $17 million. So we want to have you back 1 year. I could have Lawler start at third base, and Gino could be my designated hitter. And if Lawler's not able to cut the mustard, I got Gino at third. Can I? Because I mean, okay. We do not know about Lawler.
No, we don't.
We have our doubts about Jordan Lawler.
But you're also going to need to save your money for a first baseman, either re-signing Naylor or bringing in somebody else.
One of the easiest positions to
is,
play.
But it's still expensive. It's still, I mean, they're paying, what, 12 for Naylor this year, 12.5 for Naylor?
Could I move Gino to first? Could he play first base?
I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe. But you still have to pay for a first baseman one way or another. You still have to invest in starting pitching. You're
with Corbin Burns, yes.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, it might be Merrill Kelly.
You know, Merrill, but I don't think Merrill Kelly's enough. Like if Zach walks and Corbin's out for the season, I just don't know if $15 million to Gino Suarez when I got Jordan Lawler locked and loaded, ready to go, is the right way for me to spend my money when I've got a hole to fill at first and I've got holes, multiple, to fill in my rotation.
Right.
That might be way more of a luxury item because you've got Lawler in the queue ready to go. That's all I'm saying.
I
you
get
got
it.
a lot of money you're going to need to spend on other positions.
Right. So you let Gino Suarez walk. You put Lawler at third base. And if we're sitting here right now and Lawler's batting .220 with 4 home runs, we'd be like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Now, unless Gino hits a wall the way Walker did and Jock Peterson did, like, you know, then you go, okay, you dodged a Mike Hazen dodged a bullet not giving Christian Walker 3 years.
Big time.
He dodged a bullet not giving Jock Peterson 2 years.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
And
on this one, I trust him to know what he's doing, too.
This one's harder.
I trust him.
You
think this one's harder?
I think so. Okay. I think this one's harder.
Okay. I think this one's about the same.
Okay.
I think this one's about the same as the rest of them. But he's been so good. I'm not like trying to run him out of town. He's been so good. When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, the future of Chase Field, and perhaps an update on the future of Chase Field. And that's next on the Burns and Gambo show.
Quickly and Marana mornings.
You need to consider the factors here, and you need to understand that the appeal of the Diamondbacks to cities that don't have a baseball team are very, very real, and they will give Ken Kendrick and the Diamondbacks what they're looking for.
They can't play in that ballpark without improvements for very much longer.
We're all biased here. We do not want to lose another sports team, and I do recognize that there are people who do not feel the same way.
Where's the nearest minor league stadium they could play in? That seems to be the trend.
We got a bunch of them here.
We do. And they're pretty good.
Take your pick.
Bickley and Murata, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Love telling you about JLC Roofing. How many of you right now have some issues with your roof you don't even know about? Well, you can't tell me you know about it because you don't know about it. But a lot of people do. A lot of people that are homeowners are dealing with issues with their roof. Now, trees that are overgrown could be pushing some tiles. You could have some buildup in the valleys that are creating leaks. You could have some plugged up debris. That's why I tell you about JLC Roofing every single day. JLC Roofing offers free estimates because there's a lot of people that have that. You got a tree overhanging the roof and it's knocking some tiles around, and you don't want that to turn into a big problem. Big problems cost thousands and thousands of dollars and insurance claims. What you want to do is you want to contact JLC Roofing and get that free estimate. They do it all. If you need a new roof, they offer $1,500 off for our listeners. If you just want to get your roof repaired, get a free estimate. Call them at 602-ROOFING or go online at jlcroof.com.
A new diamond era begins. Desert Diamond Casino White Tanks is now open. An atmosphere sparkling with excitement and top names like the legendary Morton's Steakhouse and signature Starbucks coffee. Best of all, this stunning new destination is right at Loop 303 and Northern Parkway. So come and live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Automation.
The days of waiting weeks or even months for new countertops is over. The Window Depot has a wide selection of in-stock granite and quartz countertops so you can upgrade your kitchen or bathroom now. From sleek, modern quartz to timeless granite, we have the perfect countertop to match your style and budget. And it's ready to take home today. Our team is here to help you choose the perfect countertop at the lowest price and get it home fast. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
All right, back here for Global Credit Union. You're talking to a very happy, proud member of Global Credit Union, and I have been for years. They've been celebrating a decade of member service. They have everything a bank has to offer. They offer you checking accounts and savings accounts and loans and more than that at Global Credit Union. And they're built through their membership from people like me, people like you who are members of Global Credit Union. That's how they're able to offer benefits that the big banks, frankly, just can't keep up with. And that includes their ability to really reduce your fees. They pay, if you're a member of Global Credit Union, like I am, pay low to no fees on most of your accounts. You get a higher interest than that you could get at the bank. As a result, Global Credit Union members collectively have saved about $195 million last year. It's just a different, better experience. It's 10 branches throughout the valley. You can't go wrong with Global Credit Union. Explore the benefits of becoming a member at globalcu.org, your world of financial possibilities. Free checking and no monthly maintenance fee only apply to core checking accounts. Direct deposit required for early payday. Other fees may apply.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. Can the Diamondbacks avoid being swept and angering the Valley even more? We'll discuss tomorrow morning. Fun begins at 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports.
Narrator, they did. Welcome back to the Burns and Gambo Show here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. The newsroom is buzzing a little bit because we just got word not that long ago, within the last 10 minutes or so, that HB 2704, the Chase Field tax recapture bill, is going to be voted on today by the Arizona State Senate. It is on the calendar. It's on the agenda to get done tonight. We just confirmed they have a rather long agenda this evening. They have a lot of things they want to vote on, but this is one of the things that will be voted on today. Is that now? I'll let Derek Hall. He was a guest this morning on the Bickley and Murata show, and this is a little bit of a longer cut. He provides the stadium update, and he kind of gives you the update on what would happen next after we get done with the Senate votes.
I think so, Bick. I really do. And, our fans have really come forward. So have small business owners around the area, restaurants, and some of the, smaller bars and clubs. They've been saying how important it is for this bill to pass. And I'm happy. I've heard from a lot of fans, which is why we stepped forward with a small group that was put together that Let's Keep Arizona, Major League. And I actually had a few fans that wrote me and, oh, hey, Derek, be careful. It looks like you're threatening. And it was in no way a threat. It's what they've called themselves. And we do need their help. And I've had so many, I'm not kidding, so many fans say, what can we do? And we've said, well, if you can do anything, reach out to your representative and your senator and let them know that this bill is important to you. So we've seen that. And I think the vote we've said all along it could be this week. I still think it could be. There's a lot of bills that may be voted on today in the Senate. So if we're one of those, knock on wood, it passes, and then we'll hopefully get it flipped over to the House quickly and then to the governor for signing. And then it's clear sailing from there.
The governor said she'll sign it. Okay. If it comes back to her. She's been on record as saying she'll sign it. Now, it's been amended and changed, and I'm not familiar with the details of how it's been amended and changed since it's been with the Senate. But if they approve it tonight, now I don't know if they're going to or not, but if they approve it tonight, it goes back to the House. They review it. They vote on it. And if that's a yes there, too, then it goes to the governor. And assuming it meets the provisions she wants, and and she's true to her word, as she said for the last month or so, I think she's been on the record saying she wants it, then she would sign it into law, and that would be that. And this saga would be done.
So we're going to find out soon.
We're going to find out soon. Yeah, I mean, assuming they do, and we've confirmed it is on the agenda today. And I think they're still in a recess right now, but when they come back, they're going to work into the night and crank out a bunch of different votes. And if they should vote yes, now I would hope. And this is where we start veering into territory. I'm just speculating here. I would hope that through all the negotiating and conversation that they've kind of hammered out something that they know is going to pass. You know what I mean? Like they've
yeah, sure. It's like regular Senate in Congress.
Exactly.
You're not going to put the bill up there until you know it's going to pass.
Yeah, exactly. We know this is going to succeed.
It's going to succeed.
We know this will get everybody's approval. Not everybody, but enough approval. And then hopefully the changes they've made meet with the House. But it'd be nice to get this saga done. I'm not worried about them leaving, but it'd be nice to know that it's going to happen, because that building, not that it's going to happen overnight. It's going to take 5 years for them to really renovate the building the way it needs to be. But boy, does it need to be renovated.
No, it needs to be renovated in the worst way. It's a 30-year-old building. It's been there for 30 years. I mean, and just the infrastructure. We're talking about, the restrooms. We're talking about the air conditioning. How many people?
The plumbing, the
lights, the lighting. Remember going to the games when the lights, like they couldn't have the out-of-town scoreboard because they couldn't get the lights because the lights weren't. They don't sell those lights anymore.
Yes, I do remember that.
Like you couldn't get the lights, so the out-of-town scoreboard didn't work, or the roof wouldn't open. How many people have been to a concert in the summertime there? It's like it's freaking hot in here. Like it's hot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, the first day of the Morgan Wallen concert, man, everybody was complaining. The AC didn't work very well. Got to replace all that stuff. You got to make it a good venue for people to go to and enjoy themselves, no matter what time of year it is. You want to be able to go there, enjoy yourself in comfort. When you're spending a lot of money on a ticket, whether it's a Diamondback game or a motocross event or a concert, you're spending good money, and you have the right to be comfortable in that environment. It's up to the Diamondbacks and this bill to make that happen.
And, given what we know about the Suns, how they've been able to kind of reshape their forward face when it comes to what they've done to the arena, it looks fantastic. It
looks great.
It's not a brand new building, but in many ways it feels like a brand new building with everything that they've been able to change. It makes me excited about what they could do to Chase Field for the stuff we can see. You know, like I know the bulk of the work is going to be on stuff that we don't see or don't experience on a daily basis, but changing the look of it a little bit, making it feel a little fresher and newer and bigger and, you know, whatever they end up doing to it, I'd be really anxious to see how they end up making that work. And more than anything, you know, I think we're all a little scarred by what happened with the Coyotes in Utah. And again, I'm not worried about that. But if this thing, for some reason, stumbles here at the finish line, don't tell me it's not going to be in the back of our minds a little bit like, oh, God, is it going to, could it come to that? Would it ever come to that? You know, Derek Hall was very specific in that soundbite, in that conversation with Bickley and Murata. Our lobbying for this lately has not been an effort to threaten or to scare anybody. But if something doesn't happen, it's going to it's just going to plant that seed of, oh, gosh, what is this going to look like 5 years from now? You know, it'd almost be impossible for it not to.
Sure. Listen, I don't understand why it wouldn't pass. I mean, the Diamondbacks are great in the community. They're great partners with the state. Like they, you know, you just think about the World Series when they made it just a couple of years ago and all the revenue that's generated in hotels and restaurants and car rentals for people coming in from the Dodger Series, the Brewers Series, the Phillies Series, the Rangers, like, you know, and they're great. I mean, the players are great in the community. It's a win-win for everybody to get it done. Plus, the Diamondbacks are going to put up $300 million of their own money, right. $200 to $300 million of their own money for these renovations as well.
Downtown Phoenix is it's important, it's growing, and the Diamondbacks are an anchor tenant, obviously, with 81 home games there and all the concerts and everything else. Let's see what happens tonight. But again, everything we've been able to gather, our reporters have been able to gather, is that it is on the agenda tonight for the state Senate to vote on. It will come down at some point this afternoon or this evening, and then it would go to the House, and then it would go to the governor if everybody says yes on it. So we'll probably, I would imagine, have more information on this tomorrow. When the temperature exceeds 100 here in the Valley, just 15 minutes, that's all it takes of exposure, can cause permanent damage. So we're asking you to text the word water to 620-620 to help us save lives this summer by dropping off water at select UPS store locations or by donating today. It's the Arizona Sports Water Drive. It benefits Phoenix Rescue Mission. It's been slow and steady when it comes to trading Kevin Durant. Is that in and of itself a problem for the organization? That's next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
You and your phone have the key to the Arizona sports universe with the Arizona Sports app. Bickley and Murata, Wolf and Luke, Burns and Gambo, live streaming shows and podcasts. Plus, listen to D-backs play-by-play.
3-2 swung on. That's it high. Deep to left.
Download the Arizona Sports app, presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
The Lund Mortgage team's ready to help you right now. New home loans, getting pre-approved for mortgage, helping you with the refinance, home equity line of credit, very popular right now. A lot of people, the interest rates, you know, they're not down to what they used to be. So a lot of people are looking at home equity lines of credit, and the Lund Mortgage team can help you with a great rate on a home equity line of credit. So that way you can do some things to your house, like a remodel, and not have it affect the great interest rate that you may have. Matter of fact, I read something today that home equity line of credit rates are falling again. That's a good thing to do. So if you're sitting there and like, hey, I love the interest rate I have on my house, but I really want to remodel my house, and there's things that I want to do, home equity line of credit, really good. The rates are falling again. It's important to know that. So if you're considering a home equity line of credit, contact the Lund Mortgage team at 623-889-0130 and ask them about a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. If you want to get pre-approved for a mortgage, call them for that as well. 623-889-0130. That's 623-889-0130.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
NASCAR Prime is gearing up for the Tricky Triangle at Pocono.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
After 5 decades of racing tradition, it's clear that strategy is king at Pocono.
Finally, some separation between first, second, and third.
3 legendary turns, 3 unique approaches.
Wow, that's close.
Who will tame the triangle this year? Don't miss the Cup Series at Pocono, streaming Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. NASCAR, it's on Prime.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Phoenix. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at Lowe's.com/lowest price guarantee.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
So your neighbor's home hasn't sold yet, huh? Homes are sitting longer and buyers are being picky. If you want to avoid being one of the 6,000 home sellers that have given up this year, you have to talk to Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty. She'll show you how to price right and attract serious buyers. Plus, Carol will guarantee to sell your home for 100% of market value, or she'll pay the difference. Call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com. That's carolhasthebuyers.com. Caroline seller must agree on price and possession.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Lauren Koval with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, struck him out. That's your ball game. Diamondbacks prevent the sweep, and they win the finale by a final score of 9-5. The offense really shined in this one, and Ryan Nelson turned in a dominant starting pitching performance.
The Arizona Diamondbacks avoided the sweep today against the Toronto Blue Jays with a 9-5 victory. But there is some bad news for the Diamondbacks. They've placed catcher Gabriel Moreno on the 10-day injured list with a right-hand contusion. In a corresponding move, they've selected the contract of catcher Aramis Garcia from AAA Reno. And ASU is alluding to the release of new and refreshed football uniforms for this upcoming season. They will be revealed fully on July 1st. And Game 6 of the NBA Finals between the Thunder and the Pacers, as the Thunder look to win it all tonight. According to Shams Charania, Tyrese Halliburton is going to be gutting it out on the court tonight to play for the Pacers in hopes of forcing that pivotal Game 7. Tip-off for that one is at 5:30 over on ESPN 620 AM. And this report is brought to you by America Roofing. America Roofing wants to give you some relief on your roof. Save 12% with their tariff and tax relief, or get a free inspection online at americaroofingco.com, Arizona's largest roofer.
Arizona Sports.
The teams that are mainly featured right now that have interest in Kevin Durant to trade for him, it's the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, the Miami Heat, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the New York Knicks.
Suns on New Horizons. KD Watch with Burns and Gambo.
I'm going to guess this joke has been made before. So I'm probably treading over familiar ground here. I want this KD stuff to get done because I'm sick to death of hearing the Pat McAfee crew make all those noises every time Shams lists off where he's going to go.
But he said the Knicks were interested.
No, but that's from 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
That's an old soundbite.
All right, because the Knicks have never been.
We've been using that as sort of as a soundbite to like tell, okay, we're talking Kevin Durant now. But listen to the trade Kevin Durant just to be done with that crap, for goodness sakes.
Right.
Here's Shams, same show, hopefully without the noise, on Pat McAfee's show today on the latest on the trade market for Kevin Durant. And if this sounds familiar, this will be because if you were listening to our show yesterday, you would have heard Gambo say a lot of this on yesterday's show.
The longer this drags out, the more we're going to be talking about it. Kevin Durant's one of the best players in the league still today. He's going to go down as, top 15, top 20
50,
player
40, 90.
of all time, top 10 player of all time.
Sir.
So,
yes,
and his stats, I mean, this is what he's doing even at this age is remarkable. The Suns know if they're going to trade Kevin Durant, they clearly have a price threshold they want met. And I had one team tell me today, it's kind of a game of chicken at this point. From the Rockets to the Heat, to the Minnesota Timberwolves, it's literally one or two pieces away, either which way, that can get a deal done. But at the end of the day, one of these teams has to meet that threshold to get something done. The NBA draft is about a week away, so could this go into the NBA draft? For sure. But I don't think the Suns wanted to. I don't think the other teams wanted to. You want to get those deals done. So my understanding is they're in active conversations with those three teams specifically on trying to get a deal done for Kevin Durant, having their price threshold met. I would also not be surprised if this has 3-4 team deal scenarios too. This is also something that could branch into much more than just being a one-for-one trade.
The part about the price threshold being met is something I felt like you told us a lot about yesterday. Like all of these teams, they're just one more piece away, two more, from just hey, throw in this one last thing, and we got a deal here, pal. We're done. If you just throw in this one last
You've
thing.
heard me throughout this process say that, I think Minnesota's had the best offer. These other teams' offers haven't been good enough, but I've always said that, it's negotiation. Doesn't mean that you can't go back and make a better offer. I know the Miami fans lost their mind when I said the Miami doesn't have a good offer on the table. The offer's not good enough. They're not going to get a trade done right now. That doesn't mean that they can't go back and sweeten the pot, because, of course, they can. And I'm sure that they are going to discuss that. And so I've never ruled Miami out. I've just considered them a long shot based on what their offer was a week ago or 10 days ago.
Right.
But that's why each day is more negotiations. Each day you're Brian Gregory. You're picking up the phone, you're calling, and you're saying, hey, I know we discussed, would you do this? Would you do that? And how far would you go? And, at some point you tell everybody that, that offer is not good enough, and you see if they want to make another offer. Now, you can have teams bow out like, hey, it's getting too pricey for me. We're not going any further than this. Okay, that's great. Well, then you are not. Maybe San Antonio's in that spot. Maybe San Antonio's in it. Look, we're not giving you Castle. We're not giving you number 2. We give you Vassell. We would give you
Sohan,
Barnes. Like, we'll give you, but we're not going any further. Okay, but then you're right. You're out. Like, you would be out if you can't go any further. So that's what it's about. It's trying. You got 6 teams. You're trying to get everybody to increase their offer because you're trying to come up with the best deal that you can. Over time, a team that may have had the 5th best offer may jump to 2nd or 3rd. A team that had the 2nd offer may not want to put anything else, and they fall to 4th or 5th. Just common in negotiations.
Sure, or a team that has made what they consider to be their, okay, this is our final offer. We're not going to offer you anything else. At the end of the day, the Suns might circle back to them and say, okay, on second that, we'll take, is that offer still on the table? Okay, fine, we'll take it because we can't find anything else we like. It's certainly... Look, it's not getting done today. We've established that already. The NBA Finals Game 6 starts in a half hour. They don't want anything interrupting that or taking attention away from that. So we've kind of got tomorrow circled as the, okay, could tomorrow be Kevin Durant day? Maybe it goes into the weekend. It's interesting what Shams said about multiple teams, like a multi-team deal. There was a report that maybe the Nets were going to be part of like a 3-team deal in all of this, and that Kevin Durant might have said, not going to the Nets, but it would have had Kevin Durant going to Minnesota.
Right.
And it would have been a 3-team deal with the Nets giving some assets to the Suns or to both teams. But the report is that Kevin Durant continues to say, no, I don't want to go to Minnesota. That's what makes that soundbite from Shams that I just played a second ago so interesting to me. The 3 teams he lists as being ones that the Suns are, it's a staring match right now. It's the Rockets, it's the Heat, but he still mentions the Minnesota Timberwolves as if
they're not out.
They're not out. Like, they're still viable. Like, is there some hope that Kevin Durant can still be convinced to go there? Or is Minnesota softening its stance on not trading for him if he doesn't? I don't know. I don't know which one it is, but I was a little surprised to continue to hear Minnesota be mentioned as one of the teams that are still kind of in these discussions.
Yeah, all along we've said that there are several teams out there that'd be willing to trade for him on just for 1 year, not knowing if they would be able to re-sign him or not. Right? We've known Minnesota was probably that team. The Toronto Raptors, probably that team. It might have been one other. But what you don't know at that point, you don't know what if Kevin Durant then goes to that team and says, I don't want to play for you. Well, that changes things. Like, hey, would you trade for Kevin Durant? So, yeah, I'll trade for Kevin Durant. I've got his bird rights. Maybe he'll like it here. Maybe I can win him over. It's a good basketball team. We've got a great head coach in Finch. Anthony loves Anthony Edwards. And so you're willing, at that point, you're willing to trade for Kevin Durant. You're willing to trade for him, not knowing if he'd resign. But if you do get word, like, hey, I don't want to be there, you got to wonder whether that changes your thinking. You have to wonder if that changes your approach to how you want to make a trade and if you want to make a trade.
Especially when considering Minnesota, what I read about them a couple of days ago is like that was one of the reasons why they acquired Rudy Gobert in the first place, was that he expressed a willingness, oh, yeah, I'll go to Minnesota. Yeah, sure, I'll come play.
Right.
Oh, really? Okay, cool, let's make this happen. Like they don't want guys who don't want to be there. Now, there's one thing about the infamous Toronto example. Kawhi didn't want to go to Toronto. They did it anyway. And he played there and he won a championship, had a great time, and left the minute he had the opportunity to leave. But I don't think he regretted it. And maybe they're hoping Kevin Durant will do the same thing or will have a change of heart like Jimmy Butler did about Golden State. Jimmy Butler only wanted to go to the Phoenix Suns. And at the last minute, when it became just real obvious, and maybe that's why Minnesota's still in this thing, is that there's this hope that it's just going to become really obvious to Kevin Durant. Look, we know what you want. We can't give it to you. You're not going to go to Houston. You're not going to go to San Antonio. It can't be done.
You can't always get what you want.
But if you try sometimes, you'll find you get what you need.
Maybe that's what he needs.
You get what you need, you go to Minnesota, just like Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler was crazy adamant about only wanting to go in a Phoenix.
Yeah, he was trying to use his leverage. He was trying to use it as leverage.
And at the last minute, it's like, okay, fine, I'll go to Golden State.
Because he found out that he can't get what he wants.
Yeah, but he got what he needed.
Which is more money,
now,
2-year deal.
the question, right, the question in all of this now kind of becomes like, and there was Mark Stein wrote about this today on, this clearly has gone on longer than the Suns would have wanted. That you've been reporting all week that you thought they could get this done this week. Well, as the days fly by, like Sunday comes and goes.
Only getting older, baby.
No doubt. If it doesn't happen by then, now you've got the draft as a real tick-tock deadline to get something done, with the assumption that one of the things you're getting back is a better draft pick from somebody, right?
Right.
So if it doesn't get done this week, you can sit here and say, okay, we've still got some time. We get to Monday and a deal hasn't been done. You've got a real, legit 48-hour, we're on the clock to get sick. Because if the draft comes and goes, that changes everything about this, right? Because you're not getting draft compensation
you're not getting,
this year that helps you this year.
You're not getting 9. You're not getting 14. You're not getting 17. Like you're not getting those picks.
You're not getting 10 from Houston if that's even on the table.
Right. So, right now there's a possibility you could get 9, you could get 10, you could get 14, you could get 17. I would think that that's something that they want. Let's get another pick. Let's, that will be good. But you're right. The closer it gets to the draft, if you're not going to get a draft pick for this year, well, then, you're going to be looking at these other teams. And there's nothing wrong with future draft picks. I would love to get a 2029, 30, 31 from a team. It's unprotected, and I just have a shot. It's like a lottery ticket. I'll take it.
There's nothing wrong with it, no. When we come back, speaking of deadlines and deals and trades, Mike Hazen recently said that pitching would be the main focus for his team at the trade deadline if they're looking to add. Is there somebody out there that they could add? A suggestion next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Hey everybody, this is Dan Bickley.
And Vince Marotta.
The Arizona heat is dangerous, but you can help save the lives of our most vulnerable neighbors.
Arizona Sports and the UPS Store are teaming up with the Phoenix Rescue Mission to fight thirst and heat-related illness. You can drop off water at a participating UPS Store location or donate today. Just text WATER to 620-620 to learn more.
The Arizona Sports Water Drive benefiting the Phoenix Rescue Mission is presented by the UPS Store.
All right, back here to tell you about V's Barbershop. I love telling you about V's. It's just a company I absolutely believe in. It's a brand that I believe in. Their owner, their founder, Jimmy V, has done an unbelievable job of taking this concept, the old-fashioned barbershop, and just making it this timeless experience every time you go to V's. The best barbers, a great place to take your son for that big boy haircut, right? And the barbershop experience and to watch him kind of grow up. It's great. And they've got new locations as well. Their newest location, V's Barbershop Cadence Eastmark, is right off of Ray Road near Ellsworth, a part of town that's just getting huge and they're V's right in the middle of it. Before that, it was V's Barbershop Verrado, now open in Buckeye, right off the I-10. Great for anybody who lives out on the west side of the valley. But what you'll find, any of these V's that you go into, whether it's in Eastmark or whether it's in Buckeye, that same old-fashioned charm and the best barbers in town. You can't beat it. You want to experience that? Go to vbarbershop.com and book your appointment today at V's.
Summer is a great time to get a new Toyota. Choose from best-selling models like Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, Tundra, Tacoma, and more. Visit any one of the 10 Valley Toyota dealers or valleytoyotadealers.com today.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on Saturday, June 21st for National Smoothie Day. We're celebrating our Tropic Rewards members with a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Order in-app, online, or pop by the cafe. Terms and conditions apply.
This next song goes out to Cox Mobile for letting me video call my dog while we're on tour. From San Diego to Boston, I said hi. You started barking. Cox Mobile's got the bars to keep us both howling.
We run on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability. So whether you're at a concert or on the road, you'll stay connected. Visit cox.com/mobile. Cox Internet required. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability per Ookla US 2H 2024. Other restrictions apply.
Dan Bickley here with Mike Freeland, owner of Turf Monsters. And Mike, so many people rave about the quality of your work. What's your secret?
It's very simple, Dan. We're accountable. We do what we say we're going to do, and we do it right the first time. We're a one-stop shop that builds everything in your backyard from the pool tiles up. At Turf Monsters, we take great pride in our customers, and our finished products is what separates us from our competitors. We have the #1 installers in the Valley, and we're the #1 company for a reason.
Check out their work and schedule your free estimate online at turfmonstersaz.com.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
I tell people about LASIK surgery every day because 15 years ago, I went to the Schwartz Laser Eye Center and I had LASIK surgery done. Dr. Jay Schwartz is the most trusted name in eye care in the Valley. He's performed more LASIK surgeries than anyone else. He is the leader when it comes to it. Matter of fact, over 60,000 LASIK procedures performed by Dr. Jay Schwartz. You know the name, Dr. Jay Schwartz, the team eye doctor for the Suns and the D-backs for decades, and ready to help you and your family with your eye care needs. Now, maybe it's not a vision correction procedure. Maybe somebody just needs glasses or contact lenses or wants to get an eye exam. Well, the Schwartz Laser Eye Center with locations in Glendale, Scottsdale, and Mesa can help you with all of your eye care needs. Now, if you're interested in a LASIK surgery, I highly recommend it. I had it done, one of the best things I've ever done for myself. Just call 480-483-EYES or go online for more information at teamidoc.com.
Hey, it's Rick. How big has Ryan Nelson been for the D-backs as of late? We get going tomorrow at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports.
Yeah. Well, Chicago, 25 or 6-4. Good song.
It's a great song.
Just like that other song that I really like with them, Along Comes a Woman. You ever hear that one?
I'm not familiar with that one, Gambo.
So I have a question on the rejoin music, if I may ask. I've noticed on our midday show, Lauren, that when they play a song as a rejoiner to come back out of a commercial break, it has the words in it. Okay? This one clearly has been edited to just loop the music over and over again. Is that?
That's a good question. That's a very fair question.
Because I keep waiting for the voice of, was it Peter Cetera, who was the
Peter Cetera
to start singing the lyrics to the song?
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason why they do, we don't?
Why are they
we
better
don't,
than
they
us?
do? No, I'm not saying
No,
they're
no,
better.
no, they're not-
I'm
they're not
saying
better.
they're better. I'm just, why is it different?
Look to your right.
Okay, what about them?
If we had a Chicago song with lyrics
All they
in
do
the
is
rotator,
sing.
the whole
All they do is
segment
sing.
would be gone.
Yeah, all you do is sing. No, don't look at Ballin.
I'm looking to my right.
Don't look at Ballin in
This
the
is-
newsroom.
don't bring Ballin
Don't
into
bring
this.
Ballin's out there working hard trying to feed his family. Don't look at him. We don't do it because he'd sing.
Yes.
Who said that? Whose rule is that?
Aaron, Mitch, and I's, and we came up with it many years ago when we made music rotators. We said nothing with lyrics as to distract you when we come back into segment.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you think about it.
25 or 624.
Oh no, we've created a monster.
I'm gonna start
now.
singing anyway now, just to go against everything you've done.
Just to spite
I'm gonna
us.
start
Just to go against everything
you guys.
I've done.
I think the words would be good.
Well, I mean, think about it. When you like kill a rumor and we play "Don't Fear the Reaper."
Yeah.
Crank it, Lauren! I want to sing. Right? No, you
Okay, but we play the
words.
words to that.
Yeah,
we play the lyrics
and
to
you
that.
Sing, and it drives us all crazy.
And that's like a niche thing. That's very like you. We don't play it every day.
You thing.
Okay. All right. It's a good song.
You know what? If you want, when the show's done, you can get in your car, crank 25 or 6 to 4, and sing to the heart's content.
Yeah.
Sing as loud as you want, Gambo. You're going to do that, aren't you? Loud as you want. Mike Hazen, he was on Wolf and Luke yesterday, and said
With
yes.
words?
With words. He wasn't.
He was allowed to have words?
He wasn't doing sign language when that would really defeat the purpose on the radio. Gonna look to address pitching at the deadline, says Mike.
You know, we're going to look at addressing our pitching for sure come deadline season because I think that's probably the area we're going to have to look at the hardest.
Said it's tough to do right now because there just aren't a lot of sellers.
Right now, I said this in the past, like the competitive landscape in baseball is probably as good, if not better, than it's ever been. If you look across both the American and National League, you know, look at the teams that are out of it. It's not a lot. And so maybe that results in more teams that are sort of in the middle buying and selling to create some supply on the market. I don't know. But right now there's only a couple teams that you would think might sell. And if we're down to that few of teams, there's not going to be a ton out there for everyone to go after with all those teams that would be looking to buy.
It's funny. Every conversation you and I, not every, 90% of the conversations we've had about the Diamondbacks when it comes to the trade deadline has been, okay, what if they're sellers? And what about Zach Gallen? And what about Merrill Kelly and Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez, et cetera, et cetera? I don't feel like we've had a lot of, okay, what if they're buyers? You know, like who would they buy? We know what they'd be looking for. They'd be looking for bullpen arms. They'd probably be looking for a closer, like a bona fide, legit Paul Sewald back-end closer type, right? But you correct me if you think I'm wrong. I just don't feel like we've had maybe enough conversations about them buying and what they would buy if they're close.
Well, I think the first thing you would do is you'd like to buy a closer and move Shelby Miller down into a seventh or still a high leverage, but seventh or an eighth inning guy. You got to look at the teams in the standings and how they're doing and where they're at. You know, there's not many teams that are completely out of it. So you focus on the Pirates. And look, I talked about this guy last year, David Bednar, as a guy who they liked and they kicked the tires on. And he's having a good season this year, 3.38 ERA. He's got 10 saves. He could come in and help solidify, you know, that. He had 23 saves last year. He had 39 saves the year before that. Yeah, you know, like last year he had a high ERA. The year before that when he had 39 saves, an ERA to 2. So he had an ERA of 2. Then he went to 5.77. Now he's back down to 3.3. So, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful with what you do with who you're trading for because there's not a lot of teams right now that you're going to look at and say, oh, okay, that team's definitely out of it. Like the Orioles are out of it, and the White Sox are out of it, and the A's are out of it, and then the Marlins are out of it. We thought the Cardinals might be out of it. The Cardinals are not out of it. They're 4 games over 500. They're in a good spot right now. They're not out of it.
But the Pirates are out of it.
The Pirates are out of it.
The Pirates, and that's what makes them kind of unique to this conversation, is that they satisfy 2 of the criteria that you're looking for. Number 1, they're out of it. They're sellers. They're 29-46. They're 16.5 out of first. They're way back behind everybody. They're not going anywhere. Okay, so they're going to be a seller. They know it. And number 2, they have a closer, like a legitimate back-end guy. You mentioned the numbers, and I'm ripping a lot of these from SI.com, and I think it was Michael McDermott who wrote this article today about Bednar, who points out that since in his last 25 appearances, he was sent down to AAA, he came back, and since then, he's pitched to a 2.35 ERA. Opposing hitters are hitting 214 off of him. He's striking out like 37% of the hitters that he's faced.
How many analytic things are mentioned in his story?
Oh, I mean, tons.
Yeah.
Tons.
Good guy, good writer. His stories are so analytical, I can't read them.
Well, that's
I can't read them. It's too analytical.
Okay, but that's why I stuck to the numbers you know.
His HXBPH is a 4.72. What the hell does that mean?
But I didn't mention those.
But if you subtract his RWSTX, he's been great.
But I didn't mention those.
I know.
I avoided those just for you because I know you. And I work with you.
That guy's the most analytical writer we have in this market. Okay. I mean, I cannot understand half his stories.
2.35 ERA. You
right. I can understand that. It's pretty good.
214 batting average against.
Yeah.
Got that?
Come on, throw me one. Throw me one analytical thing. Throw me one he's got in his story. The NW724. What do you got?
A 202 XBA.
He's got a 202 XBA.
Okay. Enough on ripping on poor Michael because Michael does a nice job.
He does a nice job. I can't understand half the stories.
He suggests that the package to get Bednar.
Okay.
Tommy Troy, 8th overall prospect in the system. Jake McCarthy and Yilbert Diaz, your 10th best prospect in the system. So number 8, number 10, and Jake McCarthy. He suggests would be a solid starting point to get him.
Let me see what Bednar's contract is and how many years of control, because we know.
Think he's got some control left. I think he's
we
like
know
Seawald.
So he is. You got 1 year of control. This would be like Seawald. You'd have 1 year of control.
1 year after this one.
After this year.
Out of this year, next.
So you'd be like, okay, we got a guy for next year. He doesn't make a lot of money. $5.9 million. You avoided arbitration. $5.9 million. You're not spending a lot. You have him next year. It probably goes up to what, $8 or $9 million next year with arbitration.
Yeah.
And then he's an unrestricted free agent at 32 years old. At 32 years old, he's an unrestricted free agent.
It's very Seawald-like. I think.
So you're buying 1 year of control.
Yeah, it's
for Jake McCarthy, and then who's kind of if Alec Thomas is going to be your regular center fielder.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think it's close. I don't know if I want to give up on Jake McCarthy. Yilbert Diaz, okay. I think I got enough starting pitching. I could give up on Tommy Troy. Tommy Troy's one of the top prospects.
He is. He's number 8 in the system. Yeah, he is. But he's also, I mean, he's a shortstop. I think he's playing shortstop in the minors. I know he came up as a shortstop. He's kind of locked a little bit because of Lawler and because of Perdomo. There might not be an avenue for Tommy Troy to play anytime soon. I know this. I know if you're going to, and I know it's hard to do these deals now because there just aren't a lot of sellers, but Pittsburgh is one. And I think if there's an ability to do this kind of deal sooner rather than later.
Yeah, you do it.
You do it.
Okay.
Like you'd be.
How many games out am I? How many games do you need them to be within striking distance to make a trade like that where you're giving up 3 prospects? And Jake's a major leaguer. I mean, Jake's a major league player. And then Diaz and Troy.
3 to 5.
Okay.
3 to 5. But the sooner you do it, the sooner you can start to reap the benefits of having done it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that just means the price goes up.
Right.
Because it would, the Pirates, and Mike has said this many, many times, and he's, of course, right. The Pirates want to hold on to Bednar as long as possible to get the very best deal they possibly can.
Exactly.
So you'd have to freaking overwhelm them with an offer
to make them do it now.
To make them do it now. To make them go, hey, you know what? We're not going to get an offer better than that in July. Let's do it right now. And I don't know if you can do that right now. It would, you'd almost get 2 relievers for the price of one. in that you'd be able to slot Shelby down where he's supposed to go as opposed to where he is now.
And you're buying a lot more. If you did it now, you're buying a lot more time before the deadline for him to help you and solidify that bullpen. Hey, it could be the difference between 2, 3, 4 more wins on the season.
When we come back on the Burns and Gambo show, we'll talk about today's win by the Diamondbacks and then something left from last night's game as well that we've got to talk about. Kevin Ginkel. It's not time to let Kevin Ginkel go, is it?
Oh, boy.
That's next on the Burns and Gambo show.
D-backs decision makers from the team's front office join Wolf and Luke Wednesday mornings at 11:45 for D-backs Front Office Focus. Brought to you by Canvas Annuity. The home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball is Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It's been a great run for the past couple of months for real employee pricing at Sanderson Ford. However, it's coming to an end. Ford Motor Company has announced it positively ends on July 7th. So now is the time to save thousands on new Ford vehicles during the final days. Not only will you receive employee pricing, you'll also get additional Ford rebates, Sanderson discounts, and special finance offers. Get Bronco Sports for $27,900, Escapes for $28,700, and F-150 STX Super Crew trucks for just $41,700. Plus, get an additional $1,000 military recognition discount for all active and retired military personnel. Shop the final days of employee pricing at Sanderson Ford with no hassle, no pressure, no nonsense. Stop by and pick up a pair of Diamondback tickets just for coming in. No test drive or purchase required. Go online for more information at sandersonford.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, back here for Liberty GMC, 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria. Shop and buy online all the time, libertygmcaz.com. You go to Liberty GMC because there is nowhere in this valley that you can get a GMC for less than at Liberty GMC. They have consistently the best deals, consistently the best inventory, but I do always love to shout out their service drive because it is absolutely amazing. It takes care of two things that I absolutely hate doing. Number one is servicing my car because I don't like waiting around for it, sitting there looking for things to do. I like the fact that at Liberty GMC, you can drop your vehicle off by 8 p.m. at night, and it's ready for you the next day. I think that's fantastic. I think it's also fantastic. They've got the best tire deal in town. Buy 3, get the 4th for $1, and that deal lasts all year long at Liberty GMC. You don't have to worry about it expiring. You don't have to worry about it going away. It is going on now. It'll be going on next month. The next time you need tires, you go to Liberty GMC. 87th Avenue and West Bell Road in Peoria. Shop and buy online all the time. LibertyGMCAZ.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
I'm Lauren Colville with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's your ball game. Diamondbacks prevent the sweep, and they win the finale by a final score of 9-5. The offense really shined in this one, and Ryan Nelson turned in a dominant starting pitching performance.
The Diamondbacks avoided the sweep against the Toronto Blue Jays today with a 9-5 victory. But there is some bad news for the Diamondbacks. They've placed catcher Gabriel Moreno on the 10-day injured list with a right-hand contusion. In a corresponding move, they have selected the contract of catcher Aramis Garcia from AAA Reno. And ASU is alluding to the release of new and refreshed football uniforms for this upcoming season. Those will be fully revealed on July 1st. And Game 6 of the NBA Finals is tonight between the Thunder and the Pacers as the Thunder look to win it all. According to Shams Charania, and Tyrese Halliburton is going to play tonight as the Pacers hope to force a pivotal Game 7 in that one. That game's just about to tip off over on ESPN 620 AM. This report is brought to you by YRefi. Don't let private student loan debt ruin your life. Go to yrefi.com. That's YREFY.com.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. Can the Diamondbacks avoid being swept and angering the Valley even more? We'll discuss tomorrow morning. Fun begins at 6 a.m. on Arizona Sports.
The answer is yes.
2 on for Suarez, and he swings and drills it deep left center field. That is going to get over the head of Robertson and off the wall. Gattel will score. Haven rounding third right behind him, and Suarez, a 2-run double, gives Arizona a 4-1 lead.
Do you want to guess? Okay, we just got done making fun of big statistical numbers in Major League Baseball.
Okay.
You know OPS, right?
Yes.
On base plus slugging.
You're down with OPS.
I am down with OPS. It's to me, it's a very simple number. Do you want to guess Gino Suarez's OPS on June 18th?
No.
You do not want to guess?
No, I don't want to guess. What
you don't
is
want to
it?
guess?
I don't want to guess it.
612. His OPS was
on base plus slugging was 612.
That's brutal.
Yes.
That's the number that gets you cut.
Yeah.
That's the number that this time a year ago had us contemplating cutting Gino Suarez.
What is it now?
Okay, hold on. I wasn't expecting that.
Okay. You tell me what it was when it was bad.
No, because,
I'm curious what it is now when it's good.
I was looking at his numbers, 846.
Okay.
Tied for 35th in Major League Baseball.
Aaron Judge's is like ridiculous.
Oh, Aaron Judge, it's just
his is like sick.
His is absurd. I can find out for you what his is real quick. Diamondbacks won earlier today. They avoided the sweep against the Toronto Blue Jays. They got the 9-5 win.
Because I wasn't liking all this. We sweep them and they sweep us, and I'm tired of all the I like it when we sweep. I don't like it when the other team sweeps us. We're doing a lot of sweeps lately.
Getting a little tired of that too. Aaron Judge's OPS 1.192.
192,
which is absurd.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani is second, 1.014.
And that's ridiculous.
Cal Raleigh is third at 994.
That kid's a good player.
Then Will Smith, Pete Alonso, Freddie Freeman, James Wood, Corbin Carroll, 8th in Major League Baseball in OPS. 914.
Okay, that's
914.
All those triples.
All those triples help with that number. Yeah,
they
absolutely.
help.
But this time a year ago, it was you got to cut him. He's going to get cut. It's done. It's over. This is what are you going to do? The year and that's why I stumbled when you asked me what it was now, because I was looking at his numbers over like the last 162 games.
Yeah.
Basically from this time a year ago to now, it's absurd. He's got like 46 homers, 127 RBI.
And we talked about this with Gino. You're getting older. You're getting older. And he would just come to the ballpark and use that time to get ready and relax and stuff like that. It was like, you got to start getting your body going a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I used to be able to just go to the gym, pop into a workout class, and be good to go. And now I got to get there 20 minutes early now. I got to stretch. I got to – it's true. It's true. Like
the big bands, right? And
you got to stretch. You got to you can't just go and I mean, honestly, like I used to be able to go to a workout class. Class starts at 8. I get there at 7:55. Good to go. Let's go. What are we going to do? Okay, go run 2 miles, then come back and then do 40 pull-ups and then I was good. The older you get, the more your body is like, well, before I do that, like you got to kind of start the engine and let it get warm for a little bit.
Get the oil circulating through the cylinder, right? Yeah.
I'm like an oven, man. I got to be preheated, and I take 20 minutes to preheat to 400 degrees before I put my food in there. You can't just like turn the oven on and put your food in there and it's good. Like
I'm not an air fryer. All
Yeah.
right? I'm not a microwave.
I need to be
I'm a conventional oven that needs preheating.
I need to be preheated for a little while. But that's the thing with Gino. Like Lovullo, like you got to start warming up earlier. You got to start warming up better. You faster. You've got to so he did. He changed his approach to how he gets ready for a game now.
Gino had himself a big day today. A 2-run homer in the second to make it 2-0. Later, he had that 2-run double you heard there to make it 4-1. Diamondbacks win 9-5. They got a great performance from Ryan Nelson today. 5 2/3. Just the one hit allowed, the one run allowed.
He was outstanding.
He was really good.
He was really outstanding. And they needed that out of him. They really did need it out of him. And just the one hit. I mean, that was it. Just the one base hit. Then after that, and that was, the home run by Kirk. But after that, he was just mowing him down. I kept looking at his pitch count because his pitch count was so good. He wasn't throwing a lot of pitches. I'm like, he's going to go pretty, deep into this game. And he did. He got, for him, he got to go pretty deep in the game, 85 pitches into the 6th inning. He struck out Clace, then he walked Bichette. Then you had the fielder's choice. They thought it was a double play, but he was safe. Then they took him out of the game. Okay, 85 pitches in. And now, again, he's been a reliever and a starter and a reliever and a starter, so I don't think they want him throwing 110 right now, but he's getting close. But that was an outstanding outing when they really needed him to step up. No Corbin Carroll today. Gausman, they got to him. Kevin Gausman, I remember him with the Orioles, man. I remember with the Giants. That guy's been around forever.
Sure has.
He outdoed him. They got to Gausman really quickly. They got him out of that game. And I thought Ryan Nelson pitched a gem.
They scored a ton of runs. Pavin Smith, a 2-run homer. He had a sac fly. Cattell had an RBI single. Randall Grichuk hit the ball hard today. He had a sac fly.
Happy to see Pavin get that home run.
It was nice to see. It was just his second home run since late April. It was nice that maybe he's starting to turn some things around a little bit. The only, so you avoid the sweep, which is beneficial, obviously. You went 3-3 in your 6 games against the Padres and the Blue Jays, 2 of the best teams in baseball record-wise. It's acceptable that you went 3-3. We all would have liked better, but I think you can live with 3-3 as long as you get fat against the part of your schedule that's now coming up. 3 against the Rockies tomorrow. And the Rockies are playing better, but they're still the Rockies. 3 against the Rockies tomorrow. 3 against the White Sox starting Monday. 3 against the Miami Marlins starting next week on Friday. You got to make serious moves against those teams.
Yeah.
Right? Like serious. We're not screwing around anymore going, well, we kind of had a bad series here. You've got to make some serious noise against those 3 teams and start moving north a little bit in these standings.
Games going on now, so I can't give you there are some, but they're 2.5 out of a wild card right now.
Yeah.
Even though they lost 2 out of 3 to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, they're 2.5 out of a wild card.
They're 2.5 out of a wild card. The Padres have lost 3 in a row. So you took advantage of that. You've taken advantage a little bit to get within, that's really within striking distance. Your wild cards right now are the Phillies, the Giants, and then the Padres and Brewers are tied. They're tied. You're 2 games behind the Brewers in the loss column. They've got 35 losses. You got 37. In between you and the Brewers are the Cardinals and the Reds. The Cardinals and the Reds. You're a buyer right now. You're to Mike Haley. You're a buyer. And I liked what you said the other day. The Braves, you're 2.5 ahead of the Braves. You're 3 ahead of the Braves. So there's you're starting to find that. You're not going to have 10 teams in it. You're eventually going to, dwindle down to 5. Right now, the Diamondbacks are in striking position. They're in a good spot.
The downfall, in addition to Gabriel Moreno going on the injured list, that happened today. And Carroll didn't play today, but hopefully he's going to be okay with that hand. It's not broken. The downfall, I think, really, for the last 24 hours of Diamondbacks baseball was Kevin Ginkel's performance last night. Because it just puts you in this spot of
what the hell do you do?
What do you do? He's trusted. They love him. They believe in him. He was such a valuable part of what happened here a couple of years ago. He had a good year last year. He's got an ERA of 13.5, and it's just You're right. You have to find the lowest leverage situation possible and hope he can start to rebuild himself a little bit, because he's almost useless at this point.
Well, the Diamondbacks absolutely lead the league in low leverage relievers. Like, nobody's got more low leverage reliever than the Diamondbacks.
Brother. Yes,
they got a bunch of guys I don't want pitching in any games that are close. Right, and that sucks. I went through it earlier. You look at all the relievers that the Diamondbacks have had that have an ERA over 7. It's like no team has that many relievers that have had it, and I'm counting all the guys that aren't here anymore either, like J.P. Fireeisen and Joe Mantiply and guys like that. I don't know what the hell you do with Ginkel. You need him, but you can't count on him. You just got to pitch him in low leverage situation until he figures it out and gets his confidence
back. They might
back.
have to send him back down again.
Yeah, you might have to.
I wouldn't rule that out either.
I'm certainly not putting him into a game that's a close game.
I mean, I'm not. They had to rush him back in many ways because of the state of the bullpen. I don't know if they thought he was ready to come back or not, so they might have to send him back down.
Right.
When we come back, is tomorrow the end of the road? Is tomorrow Kevin Durant?
The end of the world as we know it?
No. Is it Kevin Durant Day tomorrow? That's next on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Suns, a new horizon. KD Watch.
Arizona Sports is on KD Watch. As reports roll in about an imminent Kevin Durant trade, Arizona Sports has a line into the Suns corner office to find out all the details we can about the future Hall of Famer's trade value and the timeline of when it might happen.
I expect that Kevin Durant will be traded from the Phoenix Suns next week.
KD Watch.
The home of your Phoenix Suns. Arizona Sports 98.7. The Arizona Sports app and ArizonaSports.com.
Berg Simpson is the Arizona personal injury and car accident lawyers. You will not do better than Berg Simpson in a world filled with so many choices of who to call. You see the billboards, you see all the different names and faces and numbers. Berg Simpson is at a different level. Berg Simpson has more than 24 lawyers that were named in the Best Lawyers in America publication. Berg Simpson has over 12 lawyers named in the Super Lawyers publication. Berg Simpson has over 40 years of trusted, exceptional service, combining forces with other prestigious law firms across the country to provide you the very best. You don't just have one attorney when you hire Berg Simpson. You have a bunch of attorneys, a bunch of researchers, and they're all working on your case, and they're all preparing to go to trial. You do your homework if you're in an accident, and you will find that Berg Simpson is just different. Hopefully you don't need to make this call, but if you do, let the best team represent you. 602-777-7000. That's 602-777-7000. Or visit them at bergsimpson.com. Berg Simpson, good lawyers, changing lives.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on Experience Beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Dan Bickley here for Parker & Sons, and summertime in Arizona means triple-digit temperatures and hours spent indoors, which means now is a great time to get your air conditioning unit tuned up by Parker & Sons, which can prolong the life of your system, save you up to $30 a month on utility bills, and give you the peace of mind you need entering the long, hot summer ahead. Call 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Asset preservation, wealth, and tax. You know, when you're looking towards retirement, you start to think about, hey, how do I make this money last for the number of years you're going to need it to last? That's what's important about having a financial advisor that can talk you through it and make sure that you're making the right decision. Like annuities. Are annuities right for you? Yeah, for some people they are, for others they're not. And there are good annuities, there are bad annuities out there. A lot of people are like, how can I get like a income that I know I'm going to have every single month? Well, annuities do that for you, but you do want to be careful to make sure that if you are going to get an annuity, you get the right one. That's why you hire a financial advisor, to help you make the right decisions, to make sure that you are making the right decisions, because the goal of Stuart Willis and Asset Preservation, Wealth, and Tax is when you get to retirement, to help that nest egg last so you could do the things that you want to do and live the life that you want to live. They've got 5 locations in the Valley. Call them for a free portfolio review at 602-877-PLAN. That's 602-877-PLAN. Or go to assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, what's on tonight?
Oh, what's on tonight is brought to you by Global Credit Union. Explore the benefits of becoming a member at globalcu.org. Your world of financial possibilities. The D-backs are not on tonight. They've already played. They've already won. They avoided the sweep against Toronto, as we mentioned. They're now on their way to Denver. Well, they'll take on the Colorado Rockies tomorrow. Phoenix Mercury are on tonight, and with about 5.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, they are beating the New York Liberty 76-70. The Liberty,
Liberty are a good team. They're 10-1
on the season so far.
Yeah, they lost to the Fever the other day.
The Mercury on the second night of a back-to-back, by the way, after beating the Sun last night.
No, they did a great job moving on. Moving on from Griner and Taurasi and redoing the roster. They've done a fantastic job. I think they're still a top 4 team in the WNBA.
They are.
Yeah.
Oh, were you asking?
And everybody's still raving about Sophie Cunningham knocking down that girl with the Caitlin Clark in the Indiana game. People are still talking about that. I see it's still all over the social media.
Sophie Cunningham is Caitlin Clark's personal enforcer.
Yes.
Like, I swear to God, I never thought I would use the word goon to describe Sophie Cunningham in my entire life.
Right.
She's kind of the goon of the Indiana Fever. Congrats.
Clark Gillies, Dave Schultz,
Sophie Cunningham,
Ty Domi, Bob Probert.
She's not a traditional goon, but she's,
George Larac.
She's like, I'll be your goon. Caitlin, I'll be your goon. And then NBA Finals are on tonight. They're in commercials. Let me pull up the score real quick. 8-2. The Thunder are beating the Pacers with about 9 minutes to go in the first quarter.
That's it. It's over.
Good night. Thunder are the champions. Forget it.
I think OKC closes them out tonight.
I think so, too.
I think they close them out tonight.
Shame, because I think if Halliburton weren't hurt, there might have been a chance for a Game 7 in this one. I think there would have been a chance. I'm not saying it would have happened, but I think with him limited by this calf injury, there's no chance.
I don't know what the ratings have been like for this fight. I would imagine it's not going to be great because it's Indiana and Oklahoma City. But I give Indiana a lot of credit for getting this thing to 6 games right now, because a lot of people did not think it would get to 6 games because that's how talented Oklahoma City is. And Indiana was not considered one of the best teams in the East. They weren't considered better than Cleveland or Boston or New York or even Milwaukee. But here they are.
It's a shame that the ratings aren't great, because it has been, for a lot of people, a very pure NBA Finals. Like, the basketball has been really, really good. The defense has been good. The ball movement, the shot creation. Yeah. It's been a really good series, but because it's these two markets, it just has not gotten a lot of numbers. Anyway, that's on, and it's 10-2 right now, Oklahoma City, with a very, very early lead. And I believe we got Big Red Rage coming up next after us, and we're still working to hear who the special guest is. When we know, we will let you know. Tomorrow, we'll be back straight up 2 o'clock. Is tomorrow Kevin Durant Day? I know you don't know the answer to this, but do we think we'll come in here tomorrow and get an answer to the question, what do they get for Kevin Durant? Do we get that tomorrow, do you think?
I'll say yes.
I'm not going to hold you to it.
No, I don't know. I don't know.
Like I'm gonna. Oh no, you said it was going to be Friday. You were wrong. I'm not going to.
What day's the draft?
Next Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it gets. I still think it gets done in this week goes to. When does the weekend? Sunday.
Well, technically Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Okay. Whatever.
I mean, I think it's gonna. I think it'll be tomorrow. I don't know. Like at some point, you could take this right up until the draft. But if you're trying to get draft picks for this year, you kind of want to get those things in order. And and know what you do. And we'll start to put some work into the draft next week. We haven't put any work into the draft because right now they're picking, 28th?
29th.
29th. 29th.
Speak for yourself, brother. This time next week, I'm in San Diego on the
Yeah,
beach.
the last thing you're thinking about is...
You put in your work on the NBA draft. I'm going to be putting my work into a gin and tonic while I'm overlooking the beach. You do whatever you want, man.
I'll put the work into the NBA draft, and I'll come up with some players.
I'm sure you will.
I don't know if I'll do a Gambo 5 for number 29,
Please
but
don't.
I mean...
Please don't. As your friend, please don't.
I'll give people names of guys that they like.
But still, you don't need to go that 29 is.
I know 29's like
it's hard.
It's hard.
I
have no idea who's going to be there.
I have a feeling tomorrow might be the day too, but it's kind of a cynical reason why I think tomorrow might be the day.
Okay, what's the cynical reason?
Friday news dump.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Friday news dump.
Yeah, that's a thing.
It's a thing.
That's the thing. You feel like you're not going to make the best trade out there, so do it on a Friday?
Do it on a Friday when people kind of forget about it going into the weekend. I mean, you won't entirely forget about it, but it loses. There's a reason why teams and organizations and outlets kind of put, bad news out there on a Friday news dump. And the cynic in me that is questioning whether this is going to be that good of a deal for the Phoenix Suns. The cynic in me says if there's a day you're going to do it because you think it's not a great deal and it's not going to be received well by your fan base, do it on Friday. Do it on Friday. Yep.
All right. So the guess is tomorrow, Kevin Durant. Now, if the NBA Finals are over, that makes it a little bit easier too, right? If Oklahoma City wins this tonight, I'm sure. I've never thought that they were going to make a Kevin Durant trade on one of the days of the Finals. So that's why today it didn't make any sense. And yesterday we knew it wasn't going to be yesterday. Look, they continue to negotiate, and the second one of these teams decides to, include something that kind of gets the deal over the top, then the deal gets done. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to negotiate with anybody else. What you're basically doing, you're asking 3 or 4 different teams to up your offer, and if you get here, then we got a deal, and if you don't get here, we don't have a deal.
Lorenzo Alexander is the special guest.
Zo! That's my guy.
How you doing, Zo?
Zo!
It's going to do it for us. The Big Red Rage is next. We will see you tomorrow on what could be Kevin Durant Day here on the Burns and Gambo Show.
Have a great night, everyone.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Bickley and Marotta mornings.
Houston, San Antonio, Miami. Those are the destinations that are reported to be high on Kevin Durant's list or on the list. They comprise the list. How close do you consider those 3 teams? I mean, Houston probably is the closest to competing for a championship in my mind. The other 2 aren't close.
No, that to me is really the big takeaway that very, very, very few people are talking about, in my opinion. That if this is accurate, that this is where KD wants to go, winning a championship is not at the forefront of what he's thinking about. It just isn't.
Totally agree.
Bickley and Marotta, mornings on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
When summer heat hits Phoenix, staying hydrated is life-saving. But for those without shelter, clean drinking water can be hard to come by. That's why the UPS store is teaming up with Arizona Sports to become your neighborhood hydration station. This month, help us support Phoenix Rescue Mission by donating or dropping off bottled water for those who need it most. Text WATER to 620-620 to find participating the UPS store locations near you or to make a donation. Text WATER to 620-620.
Message and data rates may apply.
The Window Depot wants to help bring your dream kitchen to life. As a family-owned and operated business, we pride ourselves on offering the best prices, the biggest inventory, and exceptional customer service you won't find at the big box stores. From premium cabinets to stunning quartz and granite countertops, faucets, hardware, and sinks, our designers are here to guide homeowners every step of the way, all under one roof. Find a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Dan Bickley here with Mike Freeland, owner of Turf Monsters. And Mike, so many people rave about the quality of your work. What's your secret?
It's very simple, Dan. We're accountable. We do what we say we're going to do, and we do it right the first time. We're a one-stop shop that builds everything in your backyard from the pool tiles up. At Turf Monsters, we take great pride in our customers, and our finished products is what separates us from our competitors. We have the #1 installers in the Valley, and we're the #1 company for a reason.
Check out their work and schedule your free estimate online at turfmonstersaz.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Are you thinking about a cash offer for your home? What if you could shop and compare the best offers available by making one call? That's exactly what you get with Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty. Get up to 9 offers with at least one at 100% of market value, or Carol will pay the difference. Whether you want speed, flexibility, or top dollar for your home, Carol delivers. Call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com. That's carolhasthebuyers.com. Carol and seller must agree on price and possession.
Orthopedic care. At Abrazo Health, we believe these two words are better together. When joint pain postpones a walk with friends or halts a weekend hike, recruit our orthopedic physicians, surgeons, and physical therapists to join your team. From our minimally invasive advanced technology designed to improve patient outcome to our comprehensive rehabilitation program, start your journey to a pain-free life. Find your partner in care at abrazohealth.com/orthopedics.
Ready! Hi, this is Chris with Ready Services, Air Conditioning and Plumbing. I've been with the company for going on 15 years. What you're going to get is not only get your problems fixed, but you're going to leave with peace of mind knowing that it's done right and done well by a qualified technician. Ready Services won't ever take advantage of any of our customers. Our goal is always to be the most accurate in diagnosing and providing top flight service for any service, air conditioning or plumbing.
ReadyServices.com. Ready.
Happy birthday, America! And my brothers at Brooklyn Bedding want to help you celebrate with the best sleep ever on the best mattress ever. You know what I'm talking about, oh yeah! We're talking 25% off everything in-store and online now through June 26th. So here's the move, Basinonians. Go to brooklynbedding.com, or better yet, stop by one of Brooklyn Bedding's 12 Basin locations and tell them Wolf sent you for the 4th of July sale at Brooklyn Bedding. For the best sleep ever, get the best mattress ever at Brooklyn Bedding.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.